All right, welcome back, watch fans. We got another exciting episode for you today. It is hammer time. We're going to go through the Sotheby's upcoming auction for important watches, right? Quote unquote important watches, Hong Kong, April 7th. And we got some really interesting watches in the sale. They got what's interesting is they have some reasonable estimates. Now, we'll skip through all this like the basic stuff over here. We're going to get to the good stuff in just 1 second. And hang on, let me just invite. Let's see here. Do we have anybody? Here we go. Here we go. Sorry about that. Let me just get this set up over here. Okay, there we go. All right. So yeah. We got some really interesting watches a little bit further into this auction. Again, they got the usual suspects. Yeah, again, this is kind of just the bait to get the tomato cans to show up. But they have some really interesting watches. Again, here's what makes the Hong Kong or a lot of Asian sales interesting is because Hong Kong, that's kind of where the serious collectors are. That also. There's really, I think, two kind of two spheres of collectors. There is the Asian collectors, which is really Hong Kong, Singapore. That is also Japan to some degree. And then you have the Italians. Those are kind of the two poles of the serious collecting world. And hang on a second, we got Red Baron. Welcome. Can you hear me? Is your mic on?
What's going on?
Okay, there we go. I think there's a slight delay in your mic. Is there? Okay, let's. Yeah, I can't hear you right now, but all right. So let's
try this again.
Okay. I'll just keep going. Let me know when you're ready. But yeah. So anyway, look, what makes the Hong Kong sales interesting is always yes, yeah. How's that now? Is it working?
Yep. All right. Yep. Looks like we got it.
Okay. It's dialed in. So yeah. So we're saying, look, we're going to roll through the preview of the Hong Kong Sotheby's sale. We're going to get to the good stuff. We're going to roll through the good stuff. And again, they got some really interesting independent watches, some kind of rare examples from Patek, from Audemars Piguet, from Vacheron, because again, the most serious collectors in the world are, in Hong Kong, in Asia, so they're gonna have some interesting things. So I'm gonna go. I'm actually. I know you just joined in, but we got. I'm just gonna kind of scroll through the basic stuff. We'll kind of start out with some of the, a little more interesting things. And here we go. Let's kind of start off with Cartier, right? Cartier is hot. Cartier is on fire right now. And, they have some good stuff here, interesting things. So you have this platinum example, which is, what was this? This is a kind of a limited, I think it's a limited edition, 1997. Now, when did Hong Kong turn over to China? Was it 97 or 99? I forgot when was it, 97 or 99?
I think it was 97.
Barron, do you know? 97. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting time, right? So number one, what does this mean? Edition number one. Is this, can we zoom in here? Is this a number one dial? Number one? Oh, yeah, there we go. Number one, yeah. It's number one of 70. It's a limited edition, 1 of 70. You get that number one right there, right by the crown, which I think, look, it gives it that, it gives it that. And look at the. What do you think of this? What do you think of this dial?
I like that it's different, but at the same time, I think like having the name like that, done like that, reminds me of. I don't know. It just kind of gaudy. It's like the LV watches. They've got like their name all over the watch.
It's a little too much, but I like. Yeah. Yeah. No, I like this. What is this enamel? Yeah, this is beautiful. The logo, the name is a little too. It's a little too much. It's a little too much. Let me see
Yeah.
what they have. They have any notes there?
Maybe if it was like
Sunburst.
smaller text, because it's like it's too prominent right now.
You know what? It makes it too busy, because I think what's beautiful about Cartier is really the simplicity, the Roman numerals. That's really what makes the watch.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're making it busy with this, but the dial itself is a stunner. I mean, it's an absolute stunner. Pink, this gear shade's incredible, and they got another one like this. They got another one, same thing over here. Let's go now. Unfortunately, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, it's kind of boring though. This is really boring, right? This is pretty boring. This is 40 to 60,000 Hong Kong, and it's about 8-to-1 ratio roughly. It's kind of annoying that they don't show the US dollars here, because I got to do math. You have a calculator there? You got a calculator? You got a calculator handy? But both of these are the same estimate. I mean, if I were to get one of these, I'd get the one on the left, 2132. It's interesting. It's interesting. Let's keep rolling through here. So actually, let's do the math. Let's 40,000. 40. No, wait. This makes sense. 40,000. Hong Kong is only $5,000. Wait, 40,000. Wait, is this right? Yeah, that sounds. Wait, something doesn't make sense. These estimates must be like kind of low estimates to lure in people, because the estimate here says 40 to 60,000 Hong Kong. It sounds cheap for platinum limited edition. That's basically $5,000 start at low estimate. That sounds too low, no? A little bit low.
It does sound low, all right, but I was also looking at the collection, and it seems like this collection is heavily geared toward the Asian market. So they could also be anticipating that the Asian market's just depressed right now.
Okay, right. So I'm thinking that, but here's the thing. Look, the beautiful thing about watches is it's a global currency, right? It really is. I mean, you may have regional differences, but listen, people, I mean, who do you think is going to go? Anybody can bid, right? Shipping is, you can fly in, boom, get the watch, no big deal. It's really not a big deal. So it's like for watches, especially, the shipping costs are minimal. It's an international currency. It's now this one is okay. So this is kind of interesting. So 21.34. So US dollar, in USD, this is again 200,000 is about $25,000. Start at the low estimate. So that is a little bit cheap, because these I think are going for, again, like the more normal ones, not with the logo. I think they're like $60,000 or something. 50. They're expensive. I don't know. What do you think of this kind of case design?
So I know the unusual case shapes are in right now. How long it's going to remain popular, I have no clue.
I think this is so ugly. It's like, it's a gimmick. It's not. I shouldn't say it's ugly. It's not ugly. It's just very kind of gimmicky. It's just gimmicky. And I think these are going on a chrono for just with numerals for about $50,000, roughly $50,000 or more. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, this is like, I don't get what's such a big deal about this case. It's a funky case. Okay. All right. Next, it's not even as interesting. Okay, the crash. Okay, so you got the crash, which is the most overhyped watch right now. So they got some, and these are going to get strong prices, right? Like, here's what I think. I think if you're ever going to sell the Cartier, now is the time to do it. I mean, now is the time.
Yeah, I agree.
They say the market, the market doesn't ring the bell at the top, but I think the market is ringing the bell here. By the way, anybody just joining in, of course, you are invited to get our weekly email newsletter. Click the link in the video description below. And that has, let me just give a little plug here for the weekly newsletter. That's got all the good stuff: watch market news, auction previews, latest prices, vintage, modern, Rolex, AP, Patek, everything you need to know. Rob, are you getting the letter?
I got the first one. Has the second one been issued?
No, it's coming out this week. It's coming out this week. We got some, actually, you know what? We're covering, guess what? We're covering some interesting trends in Breguet. There is something brewing under the surface. There's a couple of interesting things happening with Breguet, which could affect prices to the upside. You'll like this.
All right, like this. I'm excited.
Yeah. There is actually an arbitrage opportunity in Breguet. Anybody who gets our weekly email newsletter is going to learn about this firsthand, because I believe actually this new developing trend is going to move the price. I don't think it's going to double, but I think it's definitely going to, bring in a whole new range of buyers and push prices up. By the way, I'm going to scroll through here. Stop me if there's something you see that you want to talk about. I want to get to the good stuff.
All right. Yeah, because the first watch I just have a comment on is going to be the 2153 and 2154.
Okay. Okay, we're on the same page. Here we go. Let's go to oh wait. I want to bring this up. De Bethune. So it's interesting. Okay, so De Bethune, I'm not a De Bethune guy. But you always want to look at things because what's happening, right? So what's interesting with this watch, so they got an estimate of 240 Hong Kong, which is about 30 grand US, roughly in the low estimate, 30 grand. Again, you got an independent watchmaker, right? And this is owned by Watchbox or 1843 company, whatever they call themselves. They get a big chunk of it, and they're constantly promoting this, right? So they're trying to push things. They have an office in Hong Kong. They're definitely going to have a bid in on this, right? Because all these guys like to, because it doesn't take a lot to move the market, right? So they do want to support it. So I think you're going to have the bid coming in from the Watchbox 1819 company, whatever they call themselves, 1916. But a couple things. The dial here, before I get into the dial, I was looking at this and I said, man, you know what? I don't know. Baron, what is this? What is this case? What are these lugs? Would this remind you of any watches we've seen lately?
Okay, so those lugs, I guess if they were flipped 90 degrees, they would look like the AP lugs on the 1159.
Yeah, exactly, right? I'm thinking, did the AP rip off De Bethune? I mean, of course, because that is the point of these independents. Is basically they're the avant-garde, right? They paved the way, and then all these degenerates they're copycats, right? That's the Swiss are copycats.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm wondering now if the retention mechanism for the strap, if it's going to be a spring bar or it's going to be a like a screw-in type. Because on the 11, yes, because on the 1159, the strap retention mechanism is it's a screw-in.
Okay.
Which I prefer. I think that the screw-in is it's more secure, especially like if you have a high-end watch like that. You want to make sure the strap's not going anywhere.
I think this is just regular,
just the spring bar.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. No, I mean, this is, by the way, this came out when this came out. This is like almost 10 years ago. This is like 2016. I mean, this is basically a 10-year-old design. What's interesting? And this, by the way, this, again, this show, and I'm not a De Bethune fanboy, but this shows you, the role of these independent brands is to, innovate, come up with these like really interesting cases. Again, this is almost 10 years ago, right? I mean, when they designed this, it was 10 years ago. So by the time it was produced, so this is something 10 years ago. Really, really interesting. Really interesting stuff here. And 30 grand, I think actually, I think it's a good deal because, you can probably flip it for like 50 grand, in the secondary market. If somebody was a collector who was a little more of a speculative mindset, who wouldn't mind dealing with punters directly, or somebody who's a dealer, this is an interesting thing actually to pick up. Like if you can get this for 30 grand, 35 grand.
Yeah, I mean, do you know if the market right now is strong for this brand?
Allegedly, that's what Tim Mosso keeps saying. But I mean, these guys are, they're what do they say? They're what do they go? Speaking their own book. I mean, they're basically touting their own thing. Now, the dial, beautiful dial. The hands, again, I'm not crazy about these hands. Moon phase, cool moon phase. I mean, cool. I mean, look, actually, the moon phase is very interesting. Look at this. It's a 3D. You see that?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot into this. I mean, this watch actually has a lot going on. For 30 grand, maybe even 40 grand if you have the money. Like, again, it's not but this is a watch. I think, this might be worth it because, I think this is going to be, this is the type of, I think this could do well. It's interesting. Okay, so you got some other De Bethunes here. Let's go through here. We got a 2005 early. Again, kind of, I don't know. What is this? Does this make sense to you?
No, not at all. And then they've got, I don't know, that case back looks interesting though. They've got the little window on the left.
Yeah. No, you know what? You notice things really quick. These details. And look at this. Yeah, this is like, it's got. I mean, these guys have an idea. They have. You got to admit they have original ideas, whether you like it or not. Like they've earned their spot at the table. Like these guys deserve a seat at the table. Basically, they're the real deal. Whether it's worth the whatever.
So I don't know. Okay, so looking at these watches now that we've just seen, though, it just feels like looking at this watch. Okay, I mean it's a complete watch, but at the same time, it also feels like very, like the idea is very rough. Like it hasn't been fully refined yet into something that's like, okay, yeah, that's something I definitely want. I mean, they have something there, but it just needs to be further refined.
You mean the last two examples we saw that looked a little bit steampunk? They look a little bit steampunk, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and this is again, man, this is 2011. Think about this. This is like 13 years ago. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of again to get the 3D. I mean, I never paid attention to this. I never again because it's not really my thing. But it's interesting. Yeah, look, I guess they're developing ideas. They're putting it out, and as they go along, you're along for the journey, the watch collecting journey. The De Bethune journey. Again, it's just interesting to look what's going on in the market. What's happening, what other things are out there, because again, all these things is kind of like, the butterfly effect. Each one, influences the other. These things all influence each other. Let's take a look here. Let me just change this channel, by the way. Anybody just joining in, we also have a special for anybody who wants to become a member of the channel and get all these incredible benefits. $4.95 a month, instant spiritual enlightenment. Baron, didn't you get instant spiritual enlightenment when you became a member?
I did. As soon as I clicked that join button, all of a sudden it was like just a moment of zen from that moment on.
And just money started just flowing over, coming out of the heavens into your bank accounts. Women started throwing themselves at you.
Yeah, it's reached like a level of spiritual enlightenment that can't be quantified with money.
No, it's transcendent. Look, this is all about really real transcendence here. Now, this is interesting. Again, okay, we're going to be doing a video on these kind of handcrafted dials, cloisonné, marquetry from Patek Philippe in a day or two. We get a whole special presentation, and I'll be talking. One of the things, again, I don't want to give too much away, but look, one of the things that makes the Patek, the new stuff that I'm seeing now from Patek, interesting is the quality of the artwork, right? In terms of the design, the composition, the execution. We're seeing that in a couple of pieces, and it's not on that surfer thing that they came out with today. The surfer thing is I think it's kind of dull. I mean, obviously, execution-wise, it's very impressive, but the design, it's not that interesting. I mean, there's a couple of things about it interesting, but we'll be doing a thing and we'll talk about some of the really, I mean, like what they're doing now is seriously worth paying attention. I don't want to give too much away, but it is like, it's pretty serious. Now, this, by the way, this quality here is garbage. This cloisonné is very cheap. I mean, it's like, this is tacky. So this is the difference. Like what Patek is doing now, like in some of the artists that they're using are, I mean, these guys are real masters. I mean, masters are like, I mean, like at a, I'm talking about like a Picasso, Da Vinci type level, This is like, I don't know, some sort of like third grader did this or something. Like high school, not even high school. What is this? What is this?
I think the look they were going for is like, those old fashioned type maps. But what I thought was interesting though, I think
they missed it. Yeah, they were going for it. They missed it.
Yeah, I think Vacheron, they have a good implementation of complications in their enamel dials. So with this one here, they've got this kind of like this old like nautical kind of theme, and then I was looking at you got the double retrograde hands, right? So with that movement, and then it becomes I guess with those two hands together, then it becomes a nautical divider, which I thought was like that's really interesting. How they kind of just put that all together.
You know what? I'm sorry. I take it back. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. So it's platinum, retrograde, double retrograde, 25 grand roughly. It's interesting. It's got what is it? This is the South China Sea. It's, by the way, I like these numerals. Actually, that came out. I think these are kind of cute. These numbers that they did. The font, it's interesting.
Yeah, it goes with kind of like, I guess like the kind of theme of
like that ink, like that ink. Somebody did it by ink. Like it does have that. No, it's not bad. It's actually not bad. It's not bad. Let's see here. Okay, so they got another one. This could be. They're saying this possibly a piece unique. And this is the middle. What is it? The Middle Kingdom. The Middle Kingdom, right? China. The Middle Kingdom. So this is, again, this could be like, I don't know, this is one of these, this could be like a real outlier because, again, you got 1.5 billion people or whatever, right? All you need is, you got enough patriots. Now, the only thing is, it's in English. I don't know, that's kind of weird, no? I mean, who's going to, I don't know, that's kind of an oddball thing, right? Because all the writing is in English. I don't know any Americans who would wear this. I mean, like, why would they care about, China? Like, on the map, it's like, unless they have some real heavy business. I mean, it's like, what is the point of it?
Yeah, or they just have like, I guess a strong interest in something like maybe sailing. I could see that.
I don't know. No, this is made for the Chinese market. By the way, when was Hong Kong handed over? What day? It was January, right?
January. That I'm not sure. It was okay. Was it January or was it like at the end of the year?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was the end of the year, New Year type of thing, right? That was.
Yeah, because I remember I went to Hong Kong right before the handover, and if I had to go, it was during summer break, so it got handed over later on in the year.
That's when this watch was made. Look, it says July 1, 1997. On the top, on the lower, by the 7 o'clock position. You see?
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, again, it's these things are actually kind of speculative. It's interesting from a speculative standpoint. Like 30 grand, you got a speculation there. It's if somebody has like money that they don't mind, being dead for a while. You never know with this type of thing. You really never know. Like, this is not a bad speculation. So let's call it 400. Oh, actually, no, it's not cheap. This is like 50 grand, basically. It's going to be like 50 grand at least. That's not that cheap.
But at the same time, if you're buying a new piece, a new enamel piece from Vacheron, you're going to pay like somewhere between 100 and 200.
Okay. Is that what they're going for? Vacheron enamels?
Yes, I believe when I'll double check right now, but I believe when I looked earlier today, it was going for around that much. Depending on what you wanted.
Close. I don't. But listen, 50 grand. I mean, I don't know. Again, I think if somebody, if maybe. The thing with these auctions is you never know, right? If it's a bad day or whatever it is, you never know. You might get a bargain, and this is the type of thing that might have speculative potential because, again, it's one of a kind. It's Vacheron. You got a blue chip name. You got China. So, you're limited to really the Chinese market, but, you got 1 billion plus people. It's a decent market. I mean, I'd rather bet on that than bet on, like, I don't know. Let's see, Italy or Britain, which only have, I don't know how many, 50 million people, whatever. US, 300 million people. Actually, no, the US is different, but it's a big market. I like, it's like Russia. You only need a few people, right? Okay, we got a minute repeater.
Yeah. Oh, just to go back real quick on the pricing, it's actually not listed. It's price on request. So that other number I got was when I was looking at the Blancpain enamels. They're going between between 1 and 2.
Okay. I'm sure it's probably somewhere in that range. If anybody watching this knows, let us know. Okay, so this, I'm just bringing it up. Minute repeater, always interesting to look at. Okay, so basically, it's not cheap. So it's going to be about 100 grand at the low range of the estimate, 100 grand American. Perpetual calendar, minute repeater. These lugs are kind of, I don't know, these lugs are kind of ugly. I don't know. What do you think of this, Baron?
Can I see the first photo again? Oh, that is the bull's horn lugs, right? So
is that what they call it?
I mean, they use like the French word for it. It's like vache something, right?
Hold on. Teardrop lugs. They're called. These are teardrop. I think they're called teardrop lugs for you. I don't know. Not my. It doesn't. I don't know. It just looks. It's a hard pass for me. Hard pass for me.
But it's something different though. So I enjoy that.
Okay. Yeah. Listen. We got different tastes here, right? It's good. We have a variety. We have a variety of interests. Okay. Are you an oarwork fan?
I am not. It's too modern in a way that's kind of like off-putting.
Okay. So I again, I'm more of a practical person. Like I don't know what's going on here. Like I can't read it. It's like it doesn't do anything for me. But I gotta respect this is a really interesting concept. Again, I like these guys who do interesting things. Is this titanium? Yeah, titanium. Yeah, steel and titanium. The case, everything is interesting. Who collects this? Ralph Lauren. The guy, the designer himself. Yeah. And he has good taste. So if he's into oarwork, I don't know. It's worth keeping an eye on because there could be something that we don't see. Look, it's avant-garde, right? This is something that is just. I don't know. It's one of these things you really have to be into it, right? And it's not. Look at also this is going to be like 80, 90 grand, 100 grand, 100 grand plus. Interesting. They got a couple of oarworks. Now here's the thing. They got this thing. Have you heard of this brand, Ludovic Bailloire?
I have not.
Bailloire. Okay. So I didn't know about this guy. I looked at this and I said, let me look it up, And so apparently the production, and this is the whole point. This is what makes these things interesting, right? You look at these auctions, you come across stuff you've never seen before, right? You never heard. I don't know. There's also stuff, right? And they only make 40 watches a year. They make 40 watches a year, and it is what is it? It's like one of these outsourced things. So it's fabulous. So they outsource their production, and you got something interesting going on. Apparently, these numbers they kind of move in after 12 hours. They kind of get back into alignment. Retrograde. It's the whole thing going on here. Like you see the numbers, they align properly at 12, something like that. I don't know. You got to read this description. Interesting guys, right? And this is let's see here, 2158. And this is going to be like 30 grand. And yeah, they only have a few of these listed on Chrono. It's, again, one of these things that you're never going to get anywhere else. Basically, the only shot at getting this is at this auction. And this was designed, I mean, think about this. This is like, 12 years ago, 12, 14 years ago, they were coming up with this concept. And the watch looks, pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Looks
Okay.
fresh.
I mean, it's an interesting watch, but at the same time, I'm thinking, all right, when you look at an F. Pigeon, right? When you look at it, it's like it's an amazing looking watch. You're like, no, like this brand's going somewhere. When you're looking at this brand, it's kind of like, it's different, but it doesn't like capture my attention.
Okay, you articulated it perfectly. Okay, I agree with you completely. What are they saying here? So exemplifies classic nature, intricate complications, retrograde minute display. The true allure of this chronometer lies in its unconventional jumping hour display. Employing two separate rotating discs on the chapter ring, they rotate in opposite directions, and they align perfectly only when the window display reaches 12 o'clock. Okay, now you get it? So
yeah,
those rings.
I'm thinking, right? Also, something that has I guess kind of like a new display of the time. We've got resonance, right? Now that when you look at it, be like, oh, like I get it. It's fun. But when we look at this, it's just
Wow,
I don't
Ralph
know.
Lauren. Ralph Lauren is not gay. Ralph Lauren is like married for 50 years. He's got 5 kids or 4 kids. He's got I don't believe that boyfriend. But he's got MB&F. He's a big MB&F guy and an ore work guy. He's into like this avant-garde. It's interesting because Ralph Lauren, he's got very classical taste, right? His clothes are very classical that he sells, that he designs, and that he wears personally, right? It's all very classical. His taste in watches is avant-garde. Okay, Watch Lux. Or the TMZ. Maybe he knows. Hey, who knows with people, right? Like these people, you never know. Like, who knows what's going on with people? It's you never know. You never know. Especially, well, in the fashion industry, of course, But let's now. By the way, Baron, you mentioned you wanted to discuss a certain model. I think I may have passed it by. What is it? 21? Which one?
Oh, so we looked at them already. The 2153 and 2154. Yep. So the Vacheron enamel pieces.
Oh, that was those. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next one I want to look at is 2183. So just whenever we get to that piece.
Okay. I'll just bring. Okay, we got some real interesting things coming up. Right. This is the warm up. This is a lot of dull stuff right at the beginning. I mean, which I don't know. It's kind of. I don't know. It's kind of when you do an auction, you kind of want to the way you what is it? Arrange things, the lots. You want to have like a certain cadence or rhythm, where you have like some exciting things right in the beginning that people go crazy over, and that creates momentum for the rest of the auction. And this one doesn't really have a lot of exciting things up front. It's kind of like a little bit. They got a lot of basic bitch Rolexes. I don't know. It's. I'm not crazy. Like the one we saw from what is it? The guys Monaco Legends. That one is smart. Like that's a much tighter sale. It looks very tight. Like that thing is going to go crazy, I believe. This one looks very kind of, I don't know. They got some very interesting things here, but they kind of, anyway, I just want to bring this one up only because this could be a good value. Around roughly 12 grand US. This might sell cheap. It might go for like 10, 12 grand US. 15 grand US.
That was one of the pieces that it caught my attention for a bit, and I thought it was interesting how they put the cities on the inner ring and the time on the outer ring. So just kind of like reversed of what I'm used to seeing.
So here's the thing with the Vacheron: when they get these complicated dolls, they go really busy. You know what's interesting? I just noticed. Look at this hand. Actually, this is kind of like that on the Patek World Time. But longer. But longer, mm-hmm. You get more. Yeah. You get more for your money, right?
Yeah,
it's like a little, and this is elegant. I like this. I mean, this is elegant. The hands are elegant.
Yeah.
The watch itself, I don't even know what's going on here. It's so busy. I don't know if I could tell the time. I mean, I don't even know what's going on.
Also, just as a general comment for the photos for this, so I was actually surprised. They've got some heavy hitter watches here, but the
Oh yeah.
photos, they seem like the photos seem flat for some reason, which I thought was really strange for such a high end auction.
You think maybe it's
The
because of the gray background?
Okay, so I think it's more prominent in the next watch. There's a
Okay.
Journe right after this. It
Okay.
it looks like they took
Oh
the
yeah.
photos, printed it out in a catalog, and then scanned in the catalog. That's what the photo looks
Ooh.
like, right?
Ooh.
Because it's very
Baron, Red
flat,
Baron with the
flat, and it's
quality
beautiful.
control. Red Baron with quality control. You want to talk to the manager?
Uh,
No, but you're right. No,
no,
I seriously, this looks really bad.
yeah, it's flat. It looks, and then that's not going to help drum up interest in these watches when you have like low quality photos like this.
Wow. Yeah, it is. These photos. I mean, I think you know what? This great back. It's interesting. Again, look at the stuff that the Monaco Legends guys did. Right? They get this, rich kind of purple color, I believe, in the background. And this is kind of gray. First of all, I don't like gray at all as a color, because it's dull. It's dull. It's boring. It's boring. Yeah, it's boring color. Maybe that's why I'm not that excited. Can you hear it in my voice? My voice is not like that. It's from the color.
Yeah, it's also the selection of watches. I think they've got some great watches.
Yeah.
I mean, the photos and the color selection
Upvote,
isn't helpful.
upvote, bitches, upvote. Okay, let's see here. We got, hang on, hang on a second.
Hey, what do you think about IWC as a brand in general?
Wait, Watch Luck says the Red Baron knows his watches. I concur bigly. That's why the Red Baron is on. The Red Baron is a knowledgeable guy, and he also knows numbers. Am I right, Red Baron?
Thanks. I don't know. I just have opinions and I express them. I don't think I'm really that knowledgeable about watches.
No. You got a very interesting point of view with details. Okay, IWC you mentioned. Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing with IWC. It's one of these. It's like, to me, it's not really a. I don't like that name, IWC. It's like, it means nothing. Like International Watch Company. It's like one of these brands it's like one of these conglomerate names of the '60s. Global. Whatever, international conglomerate. Whatever conglomerated industries worldwide. It's like one of these like goofy names, and it's the same thing almost with Universal Genève, right? Except, I don't know, we don't talk about it, but again, that's also a very bad name. Maybe that's why they went out of business. Seriously, right? These names mean nothing, right? They're just like generic names. It's like, it's like those, we did a thing yesterday on it's like one of these military things that the CIA calls it, like, they have these like names which mean nothing, but it's like, I don't know, what do they call them? This guy yesterday who was in something called Mac v SOG, which was like military assistance combat, whatever, which is this a very like dull name, but it really means guys who are like serious, hardcore, assassins.
Yeah.
But it sounds like very, but this, again, these boring names. It's like, it's boring. But this is, look, it's a minute repeater. It's fucking boring, right? I don't know. IWC had like a flurry of interest. I remember like about 15 years ago, there was like a lot of guys in finance who were into it. I don't know, because it was big. They had big watches, and you had all those guys, wearing the fleece vests, the fleece vests, and they were into that with the coffee. And then they moved on. They moved on. Yeah, it was a thing. It was a thing like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It's very dated now. Okay, here we go. Here's another FP Journe. What do you think of this photo? Does this meet your approval? Oof, bad photo. I can't see the dial. This has texture, right?
Exactly, yeah, because I know that watch has texture on the outer dial, but you can't see it.
No, these people need to be fired immediately. No, I'm surprised. No, I mean, this is in Hong Kong. They should know better, right? I mean, like,
yeah,
what's going on? Yeah, it's a little bit dull. Now, okay, we got
as a general comment. Just because we've got Ulysse Nardin, right? I guess, on the previous watch, just as a general comment, Ulysse Nardin, if you buy one of their lower end watches, they do not stand behind their watches. They do not guarantee, like 20 years from now, if you have one of their watches and you want to get it repaired, they don't guarantee they'll have parts for it.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, so
they may not be
aware.
around. They may not be around in 20 years. I mean, you never know, right? I mean, they're kind of, yeah, I mean, they're kind of, they're just hanging on by their fingernails, basically. Ulysse Nardin. Apparently, they're getting some action with this freak thing. I mean, I think they have like younger buyers or something. They're getting some people. I mean, they do have some, they get a little bit of traction with it. I don't know where it is. The freak is kind of like, what is this? It's like, it's not here, it's not there. It's kind of like, it's not really avant-garde like the Ore Works and the other stuff that we've seen. It doesn't have that cachet. I think maybe that's a problem. Okay, so we got our Richard Mille, right? We got, this might only be, what is it, 200 grand low estimate? 200 grand low estimate? 2009, so this is early in the Richard Mille. I mean, relatively early. Interesting.
Yeah. So there's another Richard Mille I want to look at later on.
Oh yeah, they got some interesting ones. I get it. It's like interesting. Okay, so I just want to talk about this one for 5 seconds. Jean Dunant, I believe is the pronunciation. So this is a one-off, piece unique, right? Piece unique, tourbillon. And what is it? So do the math real quick. 300,000 divided by 8 is how much? 20 grand? 30 grand? 25 grand, right? 300 divided by 8? 22? Come on.
37.5.
Oh, really? Okay. Let's see. Let's take a look. So what makes this interesting is, look, it's a one-off, right? Which is always, this is, again, 2009, so this is early. It's basically a bespoke watch almost. Tourbillon, okay, whatever, tourbillon. I don't know, there's something interesting about, somebody who does a one-off design. It's like a one-of-a-kind. For 25 grand, 30 grand, whatever. I mean, this might sell cheap. Also, look at the back.
Oh yeah, interesting back. Okay, so the thing that I'm hesitant about, about piece unique watches like this is, like, how do I get this thing serviced? Listen.
This is not for peasants. This is like, if you're buying this, you're a big boy, right? You're basically, that's what you're getting into. Service. You're asking, like, it's like buying a Bentley and saying, well, how many miles per gallon do I get? I mean, it's besides the point. Yeah, a watch name. That's right. There we go. Buff. Bring up. The watch name is important. Look, it's fashion. It's branding. Right? The name needs to have some je ne sais quoi. And IWC, International Watch Conglomerate Company, peasants of the world unite. It's got that, utilitarian, Soviet, Marxist. It just doesn't have that sex appeal. IWC is not a sex appeal name. It is a dull, boring name.
It's like if Grand Seiko was Swiss, it would be IWC.
Yeah, I mean, it's like whatever, right? It's bullshit. Let's see here. We got, but yeah, it's a really, it's cool. It's cool. Look, these guys who do unique stuff, you got to give them credit. Like, look, I mean, these guys. Look at this auction, right? I don't want to make you dizzy, but I scroll up all the way back. Oh no, I don't really care about the Rolex Submariner or whatever, the basic stuff. The same AP. No, I want to see interesting things, right? People who are doing interesting things, they deserve credit. I mean, even FP Journe, we've already seen enough FP Journes. I mean, what is this? This is gonna be like an 80 grand watch. This is a little dull. This is not, when I think of FP Journe, I don't think of this, you know? I don't think of this necessarily. This is kind of a little bit of a dull face. Early 2004. I don't know. For you? Pass?
I agree. I agree. Yeah, pass. I mean,
I think with Journe,
it's a beautiful watch, but it doesn't compare to their modern designs.
yeah, I think with Journe, I think again, it's like one of the things, best of breed. Okay, so they do have some texture, right? They do got the texture, which we can't see because of the photos. And actually, we do see some. Oh, this watch has been worn. You can see it's gotten some abuse. Not abuse. It's been worn. It's been loved. It's dull. It's dull though. It's a little bit dull. The white. I think with Journe, people want to see maybe like a richer color, vibrant color. They want, not vibrant, but they want to see like saturate. They want to see that like interesting colors, maybe interesting things. What about this Chaikin? Do you know anything about this Chaikin stuff? People are into this Chaikin.
I've seen his like, I forget what they call him. It's like a, the
clown,
the Joker watch or something. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what am I here to entertain you with this watch? Like, this is like, it's kind of, I guess there's some sort of automation. Wait. There's automation. Something happens, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, this stuff moves, whatever.
Yeah, it's like the watch you'd get like a little girl, like she's like, that's like 8.
Yeah.
If she's like incredibly wealthy, like that's the type of watch she would have. It's like, those cartoon characters I see on TV.
Yeah. No, this is what's going on here. Let's take a look. Okay, so Urban Jürgensen, it's another. I don't know anything about these guys really, and I find this kind of like, I don't know. It's like it's not that unique, It's kind of like, okay, the hand's unique, right? The hand is interesting. Actually, the dial, but we've seen this type of stuff, or not. I mean, something. It's like Breguet. This, it's like it's kind of it's a spin on Breguet, basically, to me.
Yeah. So this is one of the old legacy brands. I think like sometime last year, the year before, they shut down. Well, they stopped production. They're going to revamp their product line. Right now, it's owned by Kari Volutenlanen. So there is a lot of So there's a lot of interest in this brand right now. So I think if you have any pieces you want to unload, now's the time to do it.
Oh wait, I think I saw this is the Copenhagen. This is okay. Yeah. I think I saw some sort of video on this. I got like this. Again, did nothing for me. I mean, actually, the hand is actually, I gotta say, the hand. I mean, this is actually quite interesting. This hour hand, it's almost like a piece of jewelry. It does have a certain look. It's got a 3D type of thing. This is actually interesting, but the rest of the watch is like, I don't know. I guess it's, it's kind of. I guess it's a kind of a conservative watch with just something a little bit of flair. But then again, you know what? This is 25 years ago. So people weren't doing anything too crazy then. So it's not, what is it? So 120,000 Hong Kong is about 15 US, 15 G's, I believe, roughly 10 grand plus. Let's see. Now we're getting to some interesting watches. Here we go. Okay. Constant force. Okay. Let's see. Can we see the dial? Okay, it's not bad. And what does this do? Are you familiar with this watch? Are you familiar with the technical movement here? Constant force?
That I am not.
I know it's like a whole thing. People are into this, like constant force for more accuracy, some bullshit like that. Again, I'm not into this like movement masturbation stuff.
Yeah.
But okay, so 2006, almost 20 years ago. And so this is going to go for about 150 grand roughly. Tourbillon, you got time, okay. Let's see here. They got a whole bunch of notes here. Okay, exceptional accuracy by regulating the varying force exerted by the mainspring. Okay, blah blah blah. Composed by incorporating a deadbeat second system, it showcases technical aesthetic appeal. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's again, this is like for these movement fetish people. I'm only looking at it. Okay, I get it's very technically advanced. I get it. Whatever. It's kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's not offensive to me. It's not offensive. It's not offensive. I mean, look. I mean, FP Jour, I think is interesting. Look. If the prices were cheaper, I'd say, wow, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I'm not. But again, it's like, there's these guys who are into the movement stuff. They buy the story about the movement. To me, it's more about the dial. The dial is actually their stuff is interesting. There's a craftsmanship. There's something interesting about it. I just don't see to me, I don't see that much of a value because of the whole movement thing, whatever.
So I agree in that I guess the technology that goes into the movement, I don't really care about. But at that price point, I also feel like the design of the movement and layout should be beautiful. Especially if you have a sapphire case back.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's kind of like the Ferrari. They have the beautiful engine. They have one of those see-through, is it glass or something? You can see the engine in the back. But you know what? The car itself has to be beautiful also. It's like
true.
I'm buying the car, not the engine. Okay, so this is cool. This is an Audemars Piguet perpetual calendar, manual wind, right? This is a manual wind, I believe. Yeah, manual. I'm pretty sure it's manual. And this is platinum with diamonds along the case. Kind of cool for, again, 10 grand. For 10 grand, low estimate. Again, low estimate. That's number 3. What do you think? Number 3, is that a good number in feng shui? Is that a good auspicious number? 3.
It's one of those neutral numbers. It's not good or bad.
But it's not death. I think death is 4, right? Death
4, yeah,
is 4.
the number you want is 8. That's the lucky number.
Yes. Hang on a second. Okay, so okay, yeah. This is a big watch, actually. It's a pretty decent sized watch. And this could be a good value. There's a couple things here that could be good values. There's some sleepers here. Sleepers. This could be one. And this is like right up your alley, except for the diamonds. Am I right? The diamonds is not your thing.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan of the diamonds. And then, I'm also thinking about the, I guess like the top and the bottom of the watch. It just seems like that space there is I don't know. It seems like extra thick.
Oh yeah. I just noticed that. You're right. Wow. You really zero on these details. Yeah, listen, the dial, it's kind of a small dial. And let me tell you, you need like a magnifying glass to read those subdials, basically. You need, let's see here, we got some comments from the punters. Where are the super chats? It costs money to run these channels, guys. This is, democracy is not free, okay? Democracy is not free.
Send wires now.
Send wires now, exactly. Send wire. Look, we got to keep democracy alive. Okay, so Sotheby's is not owned by the Chinese. It's owned by French guy who bought it. Unless something changed in the last a year. I haven't checked. Dress watch is supposed to be conservative. Yes and no. Yes and no. The Scandinavian mind can't. No, actually, the Scandinavians are very advanced in terms of design. They actually have very good design sense. Very kind of not extravagant. I mean, they're not like Italians, but they're very beautiful. They do very beautiful stuff. Wood. I mean, they have really a very refined sense of design, ergonomics. They have a very unique sense. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Mid-century. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I actually have. What do I have? I have shit. I actually, there's really good buys like in that Danish modern, like that teak furniture, mid-century. I have a. What do I have? It's beautiful quality stuff, and the prices are still pretty reasonable. You can find stuff good values. I mean, the finishing, the quality is really good. I think it's a much better value than that Eames bullshit. Yeah. The 12 is butchered. Yeah, the 12, they cut it in half. Yeah, that is, jeez, all of a sudden I noticed there is like odd little things here. Wow. But listen, for 12 grand, platinum diamonds, I don't know. Perpetual calendar, 10 grand. I don't know. I could live with a butchered dial, half butchered. Okay, you have anything you want to point to? Voutilainen or any of that nonsense? Urban
No,
Jürgensen?
I mean, all of the Voutilainen watches are going to be beautiful, and then they're going to go for big money. So I do not have any commentary on it. It's just, I mean, they're just yeah, they're all good looking watches. I mean, there's just a reason why that they're so sought after.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, yeah, not my cup of tea. Again, I hate the lug. I hate these type of lugs, and you know, it says handmade at the bottom. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. You know, the design is like, I don't know, this, I don't know, this gear shit thing. It's not that interesting to me. I mean, it's probably, I mean, I've never seen this type of design, but it's not that interesting to me. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Okay, here we go. Here we're getting into, again, this is like if you're thinking of jaune, like you're thinking of a color like this, you know?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference from the previous ones. This one, it stands out more.
Yeah, you want the color. You want this like weird, like steampunk. And this is, what is it? So again, it's gonna be like what, like $300,000 to $400,000? Wow. No, this is real money. This is like real money.
Yeah.
Again, it's this constant force of power reserve, brass movement, platinum, tourbillon. Okay. Grönefeld. Okay. Is this the Richard Mille? Oh, hang on.
Yep.
let's do quick MB&F. This is like kind of the hot thing. Everybody's getting into this MB&F. Again, perpetual calendar. This could be a decent buy. And this is white gold, right? 2017. So 70, really interesting. And this is going to be about 80 grand, probably in the mid range, 80 grand. I don't know. There's not one of these on Chrono 24. This is hard to find. Yeah. MB&F.
Yeah. So MB&F, they're doing a lot of interesting things now. And then I know, there's a lot of interest in the brand. But, I'm just wondering, does this brand have staying power? Like, do you think, let's say 10 or 20 years down the line, that MB&F is still going to have the same excitement it has around the brand it does right now?
I have no idea. You know what? It's a very good question. It's a very risky proposition because it seems to me it's a very kind of personal thing about, like, it's the one guy, it's a couple of watchmakers or whatever. It's kind of it's a little bit of a one-man show, I think. Am I right? I don't know. Does that make sense? It's a little bit of a, I don't know. It's like if it was a Buser, is that his name? Max Buser or something?
I'm not exactly sure what the name is, but that name does sound familiar.
Something happens to him, you're done basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So so this is a dual time. Okay, dual time, white gold. Okay, this is interesting. This is this is really cool. They're doing cool stuff, right? They're doing cool stuff, and it's not crazy. It's not like one of these crazy like ore work, which is, a little, you can't read the time. You don't need, like it's like, this is like you can read the time, all right? Like it's just interesting. But again, I mean, look. But here's the thing: I think if somebody's buying this type of stuff, this is not for the punters who are, worried about, should they get, the Submariner with a date, no date. I mean, this is a guy. It's like their 15th watch or something, or 20th watch. It's really like, this is not like they're buying it because they love it and that's it. They don't. They're willing to take a loss if they have to take a loss.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we've got a super chat.
Oh, super chat. Hang on a second. Mr. Snoo. All right. Oh, okay. Keep up the Lord's work. Thank you. This is not just dollars. This is £5 sterling. You know what that is? £5 sterling? That's like about $7. No, about $6.50. That's real money. That's not like Canadian dollars.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, this is interesting. Skeletonized birth control watch. I think he means basically you wear this watch, like nobody will want to have sex with you, basically. It's funny, actually. It's funny. I said, I remember I was in a store. What the hell is it? It was like one of those boating. What the hell is it called? Or a marine mat? No, whatever. They sell stuff for boats, whatever. And there's a brand. Oh shit! This is right in your neighborhood. You know that brand Columbia?
Yeah,
Columbia.
They're headquartered here. In Portland.
Columbia. I think they're in Oregon. They're in your neighborhood. I think they're in Portland somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Columbia.
They're headquartered in the Portland area.
Yeah. There you go. No, their stuff is so ugly. Anyway, so I'm in the store, right? It's like a whatever it is. It's like a from boating stuff, right? And there's this really cute girl there selling. She's like basically like their rep. She's like showing off their stuff, right? And again, it's really ugly stuff. And I just talked to her. It's like Sunday morning. I said, you know what? Look, this brand, this brand is like birth control. It's you wear this. You're basically going to be unfuckable. I mean, because really, the clothes is so ugly. It's automatic birth control. Okay, Mr. Snoo is a that's right. He is an aristocrat, a baron, a real baron. He invested $495. He's a baron. I will take a look at the video idea. I will take a look. I will reply back. Listen, all aristocrats get priority response. Okay, Richard Mille. This is the one you want to talk about?
Yeah. Just when I saw that, I remember what you said about simple forms and bright colors, and I was like, oh, this kind of
you're right.
Like that kind of fits the bill. And then because it's just got it's got this just pop of color like everywhere. It just stands out. It's just so different from all the other ones I've seen.
You are so right. That's because I'm looking at this like, man, this is okay. And these are going for people are crazy about this stuff, right? Like there's another one I think which is like a clown or a lolly, some other like nonsense, right? And these are going for like crazy money, right? $1 million at retail or on the secondary market or more. Crazy. I don't get it. Like, I don't know if I'm crazy. I don't know if I'm crazy. Is it me? Is somebody explain this to me? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Don't know.
So the red. Oh, red. Okay, quartz. I don't like. I understand there's some technical things they do interesting here.
Yeah. Okay, so
okay.
What? I guess what's his name? Juan from Opus and Time. He's speculating that they're using these watches to launder money.
Oh yeah. No, I'm saying for sure. I mean, no, this is like, look. I mean, that stuff is exaggerated a little bit, but no, but there's definitely watches, any like expense again, things which are going for $500,000 that you could put on your wrist. They go, cross border. It's a good way to transport money, basically, right? I mean, think about it. I mean, if you buy one of these, let's call it, you buy one of these. I mean, again, I'm not here to like give people any ideas, but you go to a guy in Miami or wherever, right? And he's got one of these, and you come to his store, his little, backpack shop, whatever. You go to an Anthony, one of these guys, and look, these guys are under pressure. These dealers, a lot of these backpack or small, they're under pressure, right? They're not gonna be too concerned about sales tax or this. I mean, they're gonna cut corners, right? They'll send a box to your house in a non-tax, whatever it is, right? I'm not gonna get into the details, but you come into the guy's office with $500,000 cash. It's got some cocaine residue on it. He'll take it. I mean, they will have to. and then you take that watch and you give it to Sotheby's. They sell it, and they wire you clean money into your account. I mean, you take a little bit of a haircut, whatever, maybe not. I don't know. Or you give it to another guy and you get clean money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not that complicated. But actually, no. So it is getting a little complicated. A lot of these auction houses now, like in Europe and everything, they actually want to see like actually Europe is getting all sorts of like regulations now with, you know, when you want to buy or sell like anything over 10,000 euros in some of these countries, like they want to see ID, like all sorts of stuff. Like they're getting very, you know, the window is closing. The window to launder money is closing. Again, I'm not in the money laundering business, but go ahead.
So do you think because of the new regulations coming in the EU, do you think the auction houses are going to move their activity outside of Europe? You know, like more into Asia and in the US?
No, because that's world of stuff, and they don't care. They don't. It's like no, they don't. No, they don't. But I think there will be an opportunity for some places which are less regulated. You know, no, I'll give you an example. Real life example, because again, it's been a while since like I bought anything like over like I don't know a certain amount in Europe, right? And I was at a fair, right? I see this sculpture, really cool thing, really cool, interesting, you know, 17th century like a bull, right? And it was going to be like 20,000 euro, right? Which was pretty good price. Like, you know, it's like something like, wow, you know, like it was actually a pretty good deal. And I said, okay, listen, I'll take it, right? Send me the invoice. I'll wire you the money. Okay. And then I get a message from Lane saying, hey, listen, you know, we need your ID. You got to send us a thing. And then we need the bank, like a whole thing. Oh, because it was coming also from a kind of a business account. It says, look, we need like more pay, like, and I'm like, you know, I don't have a problem with it, but like, you know, I'm like, fuck, like, I didn't have the bandwidth to come up with all that stuff right away or whatever. I just couldn't have the bandwidth to deal with that stuff, you know? So I was like, I dropped the ball because I just didn't have the bandwidth. I had it, but I was like, I mean, who needs to go through all that stuff, you know? Yeah, you got to take a picture of this and blah, 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 blah. We got some comments here. Yeah, so Chinese citizens can only exchange. Okay, 50,000. Okay, okay. Yeah, so there's yeah, interesting. Way to get money out of yeah. So there's stuff going on. There is stuff going on. Baroness, OG baby girl, Baroness, welcome. Yeah, so there's some interesting things happening. Let's see here. Okay, so resharp. Yeah, simple forms, right? This is again, it's for infants. It's like infantile. It makes it very easy to understand for like, you know, anybody. Okay, so we're getting into these like oddball resharp, these like round cases, which get no respect. Nobody wants them. But I think this is one of the best. I don't know. This is like, to me, this is like one of their best designs. Look at this. It's like a rose gold, carbon, skeleton.
So I don't know. When they have the screws in the bezel like that, I don't know. It just feels too much like they're just trying to be like a Royal Oak, like a Royal Oak derivative.
I think AP owns a piece of them. Well, I think they get a pass. They get a pass because I think AP owns like a chunk of them. This is a beautiful watch, actually. This is a really cool watch. I think this is one of the better designs. But nobody likes these, I guess, because it doesn't have that, you know, the tonneau, the classic shape. Mm-hmm. But this is really good. Look at this. I mean, I get it. It's maybe just me. This is a cool watch. Easy to read. I can read it at least. And that's like the other stuff. It's a big 41 millimeter. It's easy to read. Pink gold. Yeah. I'm into this. I'm actually into this. If for a resharp, like I think at some point, people's attention is going to shift to these instead of the tonneau shapes. That's my take on that. Okay, so let's keep going. We got to come. We're almost at the interesting things. Believe it or not, like we're almost there. Now this could be a good value here. This might sell cheap. This is that ugly Neptune. you know, the date, the calendar moon phase.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 57. You know, it's got the great movement. You know, stainless steel. This might sell cheap. Again, if you can deal with the ugliness, it might sell cheap. 10, 12 grand, maybe. Let's keep rolling. Stop, by the way, stop me if you see something interesting. Okay, we're about to get to the good stuff. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, page 3. I got a couple of I guess just general comments about the items on page 3.
Okay, here we go. Okay, now we're okay. That was the warm up act. Okay, now we're getting close. We're getting warm. Okay, this is kind of interesting. I've never seen this before. Have you seen this? The Calatrava Millennial set. You know, this came out at a time when I wasn't following watches anymore. Actually, when I sold my Calatravas, actually. Millennium 2004. Interesting, no? This is going to be like 100 grand basically for you getting this nice little case.
Yeah.
Certificates, you're getting this whole package.
Yeah. So I think it's also kind of weird that they even made a set like this, you know, because like Patek doesn't have
Omega does that.
They've never had issues moving watches. Like why, you know, like why do something like this? They could have just released them all individually and it would have just sold just fine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. This is like 20 years ago. Who knows? I mean, this is like literally over 20 years ago. And this is, you know, they're doing the Omega thing. I don't know. Look at this. It's one of these novelty things. It's like a novelty thing, I guess. I don't know. It's not my thing. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, so I just want to make a quick comment here. Okay, so I'm very bullish on anything having to do with India. And because, again, I think the Indian economy is starting, it's going to be where China was 10 years ago. Now, so this was for the Indian market for some Maharaja. The problem is this guy's kind of ugly. I don't want to look at him all day, but it will be of interest for Indians at some point. Interesting, cool watch.
Yeah. So on page 3, I noticed that there were a lot of pocket watches, and then I thought about
we're gonna get.
Yeah, and then I remembered what you said about, you know, you think there's going to be a revival in pocket watches, like if not anything else, only because you said we're in a lull right now. We're at like kind of like the low
bottomed out.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a minute repeater. Grand Sonnery two train clock watch. What does that mean? With polychrome enamel portrait of Maharo Singh for the Indian market, 1890. Okay, so also here's the thing with Indians, right? This might only appeal to, you know, the Singhs. You know, it's a whole case thing. You know, that it's like kind of like a tribal thing almost. So, you know, somebody who's a Patel may not want this. You know what I mean? Like literally, it's kind of like, you know, the Italians are very into only art from like their region. Like, you know, the Neapolitans will not buy Milanese paintings. I mean, they won't. And vice versa, or whatever. It's like they're very like tribal. Now this might be, so you got to be particular. Okay, so what is it? What is this? Two train? What does it mean? Graph. Yeah, the portrait is amazing, right? Exceptional skill. Yeah. Noble fan. Okay, so this guy did serious. Okay, Indian Chinese dignitaries. Okay, yeah. So he's painting basically like he's sort of like, you know, what's his name? Van Dyke or something, you know, he's like, this is a heavy hitter for, you know, these little portraits. I don't know, but the quality is there, right? So repeating function. Okay. The movement of this watch is complicated, would have required the utmost skill to complete. The clock watch feature will automatically send times, thus at hours. Hours will be struck, whilst on quarter hours, quarter. Okay. The repeating functions are powered by their own barrel and spring, and as such, interestingly, the crown will wind. The repeating barrel will unwound one way and the mainspring will unwound the other. I don't know what that means. Okay, so let's look at who's this guy. So this guy Sarohi, he ruled. Okay, so he was the ruler of this area. City of Saroi, Rajasthan. I don't know. Rajasthan is like 1892, 1920. Okay. Any further take? Any further take on this?
Not on that particular watch, but just as a comment about pocket watches in general, because originally I was thinking as like, well, like I see what you're saying. We're at a low point right now in pricing for pocket watches, but I was also thinking like, the issue with the pocket watch is that to check the time, you have to take it out, and that's like, I don't know. It's like such like a big to do. It's like it's kind of too showy. It's like you're trying to show off the pocket watch when you check the time. So I thought that would kind of like restrain the demand for it. But then when I was looking at the link that you sent me earlier today, they have, I think Patek, they've got these kind of like holders for the pocket watches.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that in a second. We're gonna talk about that in a second. And we'll talk about that. Save it. We're gonna go into that. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that right now. Okay, we're gonna discuss that at length, ad nauseum. Okay, so we got some cool pocket watches right now. Again, we got, wow, is this an erotic watch? No, again, this is for the Indian market also. Okay, so the Indian market. This is kind of ugly, actually. This is kind of tacky. So the quality of the artwork here is basic level. This is not that refined. I think this is some sort of automaton. Yeah, it's got, I think this is, what is it? Is it? I probably should have been a little more prepared on these. I didn't notice this. Is it a minute repeater? Yeah, minute repeating clock. Okay. Okay, no, it's cute. I mean, it's kind of cute, right? Whatever. Nothing like, oh, actually, I didn't notice this. I did notice this. So I think that, I think these were done by two different artists. Like the front, this might have been done by, this is not bad. It's not great. It's not bad paintwork wise. Oh, so one of the things I want to talk about with Patek, the new enamels they're doing, the marquetry, whoever it is that they're using is a really top level artist, top level guy, like really top level, like a master.
Yeah.
Like this is like, I would say this is like C list, C level. Like maybe a D plus. It's not great. Patek has like an A plus guy, and I'll talk about that on one of the upcoming things. They have now like literally, but the art quality itself is, whoever's doing some of the pieces is like a like the I'm talking about like literally a I don't know. I don't want to say Da Vinci, whatever, but they're using a top level guy. It's like a top level work, A plus work. This is like D minus, D plus work. They got A plus work. Now, we're getting into some interesting things here. This is amazing. Jade, gold, 70s, Audemars Piguet. And you got like an octagonal shape. Wait, how many? Three, 6 corners. I mean, 6 sides. So it's not, is that, I don't know, 6 is not an auspicious number. It's not an octagon. But look, jade is this is good. This is great stuff. Skeleton.
Yeah. That is a good looking watch. Like they did a really good job on the skeleton. Yeah.
And the watch is really good looking.
Yeah.
The materials, the watch. So here's the thing. So where were we going, right? So here's the problem. You mentioned something interesting, right? So one of the big issues with these watches, pocket watches, okay, you're not going to wear it, right? Now, what if you can display it on your desk or somewhere, right? What if you can display it? Now, there are, I think if somebody comes up with cool ways to display it, that's going to like really move the market. Like there's going to be a cool way to display it. Now, this is a Patek. We'll talk about this in a little bit. This is over the top, right? This is like very like, Saudi, Middle East, India, this is very, very, that market. I don't think this is for the Chinese market. I don't think this is a Chinese taste. This is like a Saudi, Indian, not an Indian, a Saudi Indian market, really elaborate. But here's what they're doing, right? And we're going to talk about this on some of the new things. So this is for their handcraft. This is a handcraft Patek Philippe, right? They're doing these. I don't want to use the word integrated stand. I think to call it a matching stand doesn't do it justice. It's I don't want to say it's. I mean, it's part of the thing. I'm almost calling it an integrated stand because it's like, you know, it's not even matching. It's beyond matching, right? What they do things where the theme carries over into the stand. The stand itself is a work of art in its own right. Whoever designs the stands. So there's a lot of things here, right? So there's a couple things involved when you're doing, like, let's call it art, right? There is the design, right? The design. There is execution, materials. So there's a lot more at work here. You're going to sculpture. It's kind of sculptural now. So you're really jumping out of the frame of the basic watch to do something like this. And again, this is kind of tacky to me. They have some incredibly interesting ones that we'll talk about in a future video, but you got to give these guys credit. And this is going to go for, you know, how much? Do the math. 3 million divided by 8 is how much? 400,000? Actually, not bad.
375.
Yeah, this might go for like 300, 400 grand. 1980. So this is 1980. So this was done 1980. You got to think back. What was going on in 1980? The oil market was booming, right? Inflation. So, you know, it's probably like Saudis or somebody like that bought it. It's an important Asian collector. I don't know. Asia means more than China. It means like,
yeah. We've got a super chat.
Oh, super chat.
From
hang
the Duke.
On. From who? Oh, Duke Philippe. Duke Philippe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anita. Okay. By the way, Duke Philippe. You know what? I saw you were doing that thing with Higgins. Hitler's grandson. I don't know why he denies being Hitler's grandson. At least he's a celebrity, right? And I don't think he understood some of my joke. I said, look, because I think I asked him if he owns one of the Patek watches, which was done where the enamel was done by the famous Austrian artist Adolf Schicklgruber, which I think was Hitler's original family. Head of Schicklgruber. I don't think he understood my joke. I don't think he understood it. But no, Duke Philippe, look, we're going to have a very serious discussion on the topic of these unique Patek watches, and in terms of like, there's a lot. I mean, like, I really have a whole presentation we can get into. It's going to be very, very interesting. And by the way, I don't want any super chats. I'm looking for a sponsor. We're looking for a marquee sponsor. We're gonna have. I need these fucking $6.99 super chat. No, we're looking for an executive producer. That's right. We're selling titles. We're selling titles beyond. So that video, we're gonna have an executive producer credit available for the highest bidder. Whoever wants to be executive producer, named as executive producer of that video, which is going to be a real piece of history. Actually, we're talking about horology history, legitimately horology history. I guarantee you, Philippe Stern will see the video that we're going to be doing. It's going to be unbelievable, but true. Anita Porcher. We're talking about beyond enameling, beyond. Perry, yes. This would look. Yeah, I agree. Cocaine NATO strap. Adolf Wiener. Yes. So yeah, we have an opening for an executive producer. Whoever wants to be Okay, so cocaine could have been another thing, right? Because again, what was going on in the 80s? Pablo Escobar, right? This is kind of like that, Mexican, South American. It's very gaudy, I mean, if a guy like that was in Geneva laundering some money, he saw this in a window somewhere. Hey, why not? So what's great about this is this, right? And again, I'm surprised that Duke Philippe doesn't have it. But what's great is You got the watch, right? And this is, by the way, Red Baron, this is where you're going, right?
Yeah.
You got the watch. Now you got versatility. You got versatility. You put it in your pocket, on the vest. You come home, you hang it up on your desk, and now it's hanging there. And the peasants who come to you, the peasants who come to your office, and by the way, when you have a watch like this, you have a clock like this, your desk is raised on a platform, so you're above. You're like an emperor. You're at least a foot. You got to be, when you have a clock like this on your desk, you got to make sure that your desk is on a raised platform, at least 1 foot above the peasants, so they're looking up at you. And the peasants are sitting in like soft chairs, so they sink in. They sink into the chair, so it's very comfortable. But they're sinking in, and they're looking up at you like in awe. And you got like a real Maharaja desk. Like you have one of these. I'd have this on like a desk like Ruhlmann. You know, was a great Art Deco French designer. He made some desks, like incredible desks, like in the Art Deco era for like the Maharaja of Indore, and other Maharajas that go for like $1 million, a couple $1 million today, made out of like exotic woods. This is the type of thing you put on your desk. Actually, this is a little tacky, but you get the idea, right? This is like, and you know what's better? You got 5 of these. You got like a whole collection. I bet there's guys who collect these. I mean, you can collect these, right?
Yeah. You have the one you're using on your desk, and then you've got like 4 more behind you.
Yeah. No. So here's the thing. What's interesting thing? Here's what I think, and I'm going to give a little preview. I think the Patek. I think the Patek. These what do you call it? These handwork pieces, whatever you want to call it, handwork pieces. They've been very underappreciated. Believe it or not, okay. Unbelievable but true. By the way, guys, if you're just joining in, make sure you get our weekly email newsletter. Click the link in the video description below to get watch market news, prices on AP, Patek, everything that's going on, trends, what's happening in the market, rumors, gossip, all that good stuff. Now, back to the program. Look, I think this stuff has been underappreciated. It's been flying under the radar. It's not cheap. It's not cheap, but there could be a play. There could be a play. And the way you do this play, is you take a lesson from a famous Iranian guy, or Persian, as they like to call themselves in London, a big collector of, what the hell is his name? His name is not Saatchi. No, it's not that. His name is, it'll come to me. But this guy's in London, and he basically collects, like, I don't know, he put together like a collection of like ivory, like a rare exotic ivory, different things, like real high-end, ultra, top-level stuff. He puts it together. I mean, he's really a dealer, collector, right? He's a collector, but then he sells it. He's basically, he puts together the collection of like whatever it is, and then he sells it off to like a Gulf guy, like a Gulf ruler, basically, or somebody with big money, because he's basically going for big money, right? He sells the complete collection. He did one for enamels, for ivory, for whatever. A guy like that would put together a collection of these, like, handwork Pateks, like, and then all of a sudden he would own the market, because that's it. How many of these are there? It's a one-off. And then he would get big money for it, and it would be really cool. That would set the benchmark. So I think there is money to be made in this. If you have big money, and you're willing to, again, it's a very interesting area. I'm surprised that Duke, and again, look, this is not for it's not for peasants. It's not for the Duke Philippes. Exactly. What is art? Listen, art and science. Art and science. That's what it's about, baby. Art and science. So I don't know, Baron. What do you think of this? Would you make a move on something like this?
I mean, not that particular piece, but I'm thinking, with the display holder, I could see that displacing the, I guess, whatever remains of the market for the desk clocks.
Yeah, listen, and here's the thing: if somebody comes up, like those they have that thing, the watch stand, the little piece of like marble, and you put your watch on, whatever, leather thing. If they did something like that, and somebody should do something like that for pocket watches, and that would be cool. I mean, basically, if I was a dealer of pocket watches, I would make sure to sell cool stands because, then all of a sudden you got a punter who says, "Hey, shit, I'll put this on my desk," whatever.
Yeah. And then you'll get more use out of it because it's not just like, when I'm wearing these pants or this vest, I can have a pocket watch. Now it's just whenever I'm not using it, it's a display piece on my desk.
Yeah, I mean, the way I would do it is basically I would have a whole room in that. Look, if you're going to do this on a high level, right? You basically have a room designed where we have special, cabinets or whatever designed with special lighting, and you sit there surrounded by your watches. The room has got like very good upholstery on the walls, maybe leather paneling or whatever, and you sit there, you're smoking your cigar, drinking, Louis XIII cognac. Is that Louis XIII, the good one? I think it's Louis XIII, right? I'm not a big cognac guy. And you sit there and that's it. And you look around you and you basically, that you own this market. You've cornered that market. And that's like, you basically just look at that. That's a nice feeling to have, no? It's not, I mean, I think it's a much better feeling than, going on, live streams like Duke Philippe and giving super chats to peasants and rodents like Archie, and you got a lot of rodents now coming into the space. I think a real aristocrat would sit there in his room, surrounded by these watches with proper displays and stands and lighting, custom designed by like a top architect, like I don't know, Thierry Despont or something like that. One of these guys, you pay like $500,000 to have this 12 by 12 room or whatever, and then you have on a big screen, you have the Watch Reporter channel. While you're watching the Watch Reporter channel in that room, you got all this going on. That's the proper way to do it. Here we go. Another handwork watch. Okay, 1990. Again, I think there's a move to be made here. So it's a one-off base. I mean, how many were made like this? And look at the Patek Philippe is engraved. Look at that. Pretty cool. Hang on a second. We're getting into some interesting territory. So what are they saying? What are they saying about this? 1980, again, cocaine era. They don't have a lot to say about this. Sapphire crystal display. Skelet. Oh, you get the original Patek strap. So this was never worn, it looks like. Oh, I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like this. I mean, it could be never worn. It's very possible. This might sell cheap. Look at this. This might only go for like 10, 12 grand. I don't know. This is a good speculation,
What's the size on it? It's like a 33?
You want it? I think you.
No,
31.
I was just curious. Yeah,
31, a good size. 31, a good size. Okay. So this is an amazing thing here. I mean, I think for the average punter is not going to understand this, but I guarantee you, like some Maharaja guy, some guy in India, is going to fall in love with this, and it's going to be amazing. So, yeah. Let's see. While you're in your room looking at the watches, right? Exactly. It's funny. The desire to flick the watch and watch it pendle would be great, but maybe that's the point. With your finger, pendle? What are you talking? That's the thing to open. I don't know what he's talking about. Do you know what he's talking about? He's spelling.
I think he means to flick it and watch it spin.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's a spinner. I don't know if that's a spinner. Yeah, I don't think that's a spinner. I think it basically it hooks in like one position. It doesn't spin. It's not going to spin. Okay. So this is like, I think, again, to me, the highlights of the sale. This is really interesting, super interesting. But wait, there's more. This to me is super interesting. Audemars Piguet pocket watch. This, I forgot. We almost skipped this. Super interesting. Ellipse. Rare ellipse. Again, this is going to go cheap. Shit. I might place a bid. The Colonel might place a bid. I hate these lugs, but it is a cool watch. Look at this. Ellipse 1982. Again, you got the engraving. You get the diamonds. Look at the back. I hate their engraving, by the way. I really hate this engraving stuff. I think it's very tacky. To me, this is very tacky. But I don't know. Interesting, like lug, whatever you call it. I don't know, whatever you want to call this, lug, whatever. Baron, would you wear this?
It's not for me. I mean, it is an interesting watch, but it's just not for me.
What, are you saying you're too manly or something for this? What size is this? This is 32 millimeter, decent size. I mean, for dress, cool watch. Again, you're never going to come across this. So the whole point of the auctions, again, I think the whole point of auctions is stuff like this, which you're never going to find elsewhere on the secondary market. That is the point of the watch. Let's see here. Let's keep rolling. We're almost done, actually, but there's some really interesting things here. There could be some deals. There could be some deals to be had on Patek Perpetuals 5139. So this one is kind of the stepchild of Perpetuals, right? Like with the cloisonné. I mean, not the Clou de Paris, the hobnail. People don't like that, and you might be able to get it cheap, like 25 grand, 25 G's for one of these. And it's a perpetual calendar. Patek. And I think at some point, somebody's going to say, you know what? This is cool. I mean, these are really trading at rock bottom. Again, this is the look that everybody wants. When they again, this is the 5140, so this is the more modern one. It's not the 39. But white gold, I think it's a sunburst dial. It looks like a sunburst dial. With bad photography. Very dull, very dull. I mean, this looks really bad. Really bad. Let's see here. Let's get, okay, we got, I just want to bring this up. Minute repeater, always nice to see. And this is for you. This is your numbers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you gotta say, this is I could see you wearing something like this. This is discreet.
Yeah, it's interesting, with the jump hour, and then it's got the I guess I would describe it as the regulator hand for the minutes. It's definitely an interesting piece.
It's probably gonna be like 20 grand, 15 grand, maybe 15, 20 grand. Wait. Yeah, and minute repeater. Look how thin it is.
Yeah,
it's elegant, very elegant.
I mean, it's surprising that they got a jump hour and a minute repeater in a case that, I mean, that looks like a small case.
Listen, it's all about the movement, as some people say, right? I mean, this is an impressive thing to do. Good value. Minute repeater, high complication. Jump hour. Small size. What size is this? 38 millimeter. Good size.
Yeah.
38 millimeter. Thin. Amazing. I mean, good value for somebody. There's some there's some things in here that are really interesting. I'm just going to point this. I don't know. I can't get into this. You know what? I love this case design. I hate these Breguet numerals. Chronograph, perpetual. It's going to be 150 Gs plus. Chronograph, perpetual. I don't know. I think this is the type. This is. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Okay, let's go through it. There's a couple more interesting pieces. Okay, preview of what we're going to be talking about on this marquetry. The marquetry, these handwork dials, right? So here's my thesis for this. Here is my thesis. So again, my thesis is that somebody, again, if they want to make a move, they want to make a move in the market, you put together a collection of these, marquetry pieces along a theme or whatever it is, right? And you're basically going to corner that market. People, I don't think, look, this type of stuff is not for everybody. Again, so here's the issue, the design, right? The subject, you got subject matter, right? Again, because now you're getting into art. Now, when they do this, it's kind of you're not even in the world of horology. Now you're entering the world of art. So you got subject matter, right? What's the subject? You got rabbits, bunny rabbits. I don't know. Not everybody's into bunny rabbits. So subject matter is important. The design, execution, composition, color. You're getting into a whole 5 different layers when you're getting into this. Now all of a sudden, you got to look at this as a painting, not just a watch. So this needs to be judged on 2 different levels. And also execution, because these things are not just paintings, they're technically complex. If you're talking about marquetry, marquetry is the most complex thing. It's beyond enamel. Enamel is for losers. Marquetry is next level stuff. And these people are nuts. These marquetry people, these artisans that do marquetry, they're all crazy people. They're very hard to work with. Let me point out a couple things here, which is interesting. From an artistic perspective, again, subject matter I think is boring, fucking rabbits. But what's good is this. I'll give you a preview. Here's what's good. What makes this good, actually, is this guy, and I think they're using the same guy to do a couple of these things. Look at some of the details, right? Because the most important thing with art is the play of light, how light and shadow is played, right? Because that gives something a sense of reality. And if you look at these rabbits, you see the light that's bouncing off their eyeballs? You see that?
Yep.
The white? That is basically the mark of a master, somebody who pays attention to that. Now, again, the better you do it, the better it is. And also you see the air on the rabbit that is the top rabbit. You see there's a little, on his left ear, it's sort of a lighter area on the left ear.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's basically the artist is trying to show basically the light bouncing off that, they're in sunlight and the light is hitting the air and it's bouncing off the fur. You know what I mean? Reflecting off the fur.
Yeah.
That is a mark of a master. I'm talking about art. Now, I don't know if this is an original composition. I don't know if somebody designed this as an original composition. Some of their compositions are very unique. They look to me, I don't know, are they copying a composition, or does the guy who does the marquetry come up with that? If the guy comes up with that, that is a top tier talent. Talking about AAA. So this is really, really good as, and by the way, there's guys who are into wildlife art. I've sold paintings to guys who are into, and that's a whole nother market. Wildlife art that's a whole nother market. With big money. Those guys have big money. People who are into wildlife art at a high level. Okay, so this came out, and we'll talk about that on the thing where we talk about these markets. So this came out 14 years ago. I think they just started with this in 2008, if I'm not mistaken. Clean case, right? Look at this. Platinum. It's a platinum case. The diamonds, I don't know. It's a little kitschy, no? Little baby diamonds. I think it's a little kitschy.
Yeah, I don't think the diamonds really help with the.
No, it does nothing. Nothing for the painting. Does absolutely nothing for the painting. To me, it takes away from the painting, basically. And here's what's interesting. Okay, here's what I think is interesting. The Sterns, right? They're really like the Medicis in a way. Like they're really like, they want to keep this type of art, craftsmanship alive. And, you know, it's important for them for whatever reason. And they're basically patrons of the art. So they're, I think they're basically doing some of these things with cloisonné, with marquetry, with whatever. And they're okay with basically maybe being a loss leader. Like if they don't mind losing money or holding things for a couple of years. Like I know when they did some of those clocks, it took a long time for some of those to sell. But like for them, again, look, these guys are making big money, right? So it's not a big deal. Like if they tie up, you know, 20 million, because for them, it's almost like a form of, it builds their brand in a certain. This is not for everybody. This is not for the average punter. You know what I mean? Like this is not for like, you know, Duke Philippe. You know, I mean,
you know, I was thinking this is even better than them doing philanthropy because they're not the ones spending money on it. Like they're getting you to spend money on it.
Yeah, no, but they're at the same time they're keeping it alive. They're making it accessible. So it's a whole thing. It's a kind of like, it's a bespoke thing. These things are very limited. Each one is going to be unique. It is going to be unique because it's all handmade, right? So it's all going to be slightly different. It's all hand done. So they're going to be differences.
Yeah.
None of them are going to be alike. What are the odds that you're going to meet somebody who's got one of these? And again, when you have one of these, you're basically in a club. You're in an exclusive club of people who are into this. And this, you know, this is not the guy's first Patek. You know, it's not like he's got a 2-watch collection, a Submariner, you know, black,
and this, yeah.
black. He's got the Explorer 1 on a NATO strap. And this is a guy who's got like, he may have 50, I don't know. He's got whatever. He's got like money to burn. I mean, because this is already, when you're getting into this, you're getting beyond just Patek. You're getting into like a special club. So we got a couple more of these we're going to show. Okay, this is the cloisonné Del. And here's the thing, right? Some of these are not that good. Some of these are not, they're not all equal. I mean, they're all, again, they're using different artisans, different compositions, different, you know, this is boring, I think. This is a cloisonné or whatever, enamel, I don't know. Again, the craftsmanship is there, right? But the composition is not interesting. The design is not interesting. What is it? I don't know. It's a Firebird or something? I don't know. Phoenix, okay. 100 grand, platinum.
So do you think that they're better off doing this, which, you know, I would call like these I guess the art that they put on these watches, it's more on the conservative side versus, you know, doing something, maybe partnering with a let's say a somewhat established modern artist to put something.
Okay, so here's by the way, if Thierry Stern is listening, right? What would be, because they got that stupid surfer watch, which is like bullshit, right? What would be cool is if they went to a guy like this guy, Kaws, Kaws. I think we talked about him before, Kaws. And he does like kind of street art, graffiti, but very colorful, simple forms, beautiful colors, very kind of like geometric type characters, whatever. That would work perfectly on a Patek. And it would be so unique. And by the way, that guy is so hot, red, white hot. He's white hot with contemporary art collectors, Asian collectors, across, I mean, worldwide. But, you know, in Hong Kong, they would go bananas because Korea, they go bananas. If they did that in marquetry or whatever, it would be like, you know, crazy. Okay, so now this is interesting. So they got one of these, right? But look at this. Have you ever seen this?
I have not. That's like it's almost, I don't know. There's a lot going on here. I mean, you've got the art, which is, it's kind of like, it's almost cartoony, and then you've got, you know, it's just like like
you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
Wait, you're getting your money's worth because you got multiple designs. First of all, you got a Nautilus. Okay, Nautilus. There we go, Nautilus, right? You got it's factory diamonds completely. It's not a bust down. And look at the pattern. Look at this pattern. You got I don't even know what the right word is. In the pattern goes through the dial and through the bezel. You see that?
Yeah.
The diamond, the design of the diamonds, and you got the dragon. I mean, you'll never see this ever. I mean, this is, of course, they got the worst photograph in the world here. Worst photography. I mean, this guy's like a disgrace. Whoever did this. But this is an amazing watch. Whoever came up with this concept. So you got, okay, the concept, the design, execution, I give it a solid 10. Now, the dragon is a little kitschy, so it's not as good. I mean, like, you know, that I think, I don't know if they were limited by whatever, but it's not that. I give that like a C. The dragon gets a C, but it's a very like Chinese, what do you call it? The motif, on the bezel. What do you call it? The not the dragon, but the other stuff. The swirling pattern, the patterns.
Oh,
it's the
clouds.
Clouds, yeah, they're beautiful. The clouds are beautiful, beautiful.
So it seems like this is the type of watch, you would sell to the Chinese market, but it would be sold to like the son of somebody that's like some kind of like industry leader. Somebody just got like way too much money, right? And then his kid's just like blowing all the money.
Yeah. By the way, just so you know, this comes with certificate of origin and factory sealed. So this is not like an Archie luxury piece. Okay, this is the real deal. This is not. There's no chips. There's no machete chips here. No machete chips involved, and it's factory sealed, right? In this little pouch, factory sealed like a condom. Here's the sad thing is, you know what's really sad? The guy who buys this probably will keep it in this. Will probably keep it sealed, unless. It would be really cool if you do an unboxing, an unsealing on video, on a live stream.
Yeah.
Now that would be a baller move, but this is an amazing watch. I think this is cheap. It sounds way too cheap because this is basically $500,000, high estimate. That way too cheap. This is going to go bananas, even in a bad Asian market like in China, whatever, Hong Kong. This is going to go bananas. I think this could go for like easily into the seven figures. I would pay seven figures if I had the money.
We'll have to see after the auction ends to see what this goes for.
I mean, if I had, let's say if I was worth, let's just say 300 million, 500 million, half of it was liquid, I would take a shot on this. Under $1 million. Because I would say, look, you know what? Let me see. Maybe the Chinese economy revives, because it will at some point, whatever, or some. And also, you got to realize there's always going to be wealthy Chinese people, but also it is always going to be, right? You got 1 billion people, right? I only need 2 guys, to be interested.
Yeah. Okay, but at the same time, I think this is like a young person's watch.
It is. That's the great thing about it. See, that's the thing. It is it's a fun watch. This is the type of watch. There's a guy on Instagram. I think he calls himself Johnson. I think we showed him one of his watches. Here we go. Oh, shit. There we go. We got comments. Wait, Baron, why aren't you telling me about the comments here? We got comments from the punters. You got to pay attention, Baron. We got the punters. We got another Baron. We got Aristocrat. We have aristocrats commenting. So 2024 Year of the Dragon. Is that true? Year of the Dragon? This is the Year of the Dragon?
It's currently Year of the Dragon. Yep.
Okay, so this watch, I didn't even know that. So this watch is going to go bananas. Bananas. It's a Bruce Lee watch. I mean, fuck. This is too advanced for 10Z. I mean, listen, if I were 10Z, I don't know if this guy has any real money. I know he's doesn't. Supposedly 10Z will spend like 30 grand on super chats on Archie last year. Do you know this?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. So Tan. Let me see. I don't know if the guy has real money though, but because if he's into Patek, right? If he's into Patek, if he's like a real collector, this is the watch to make a move on, because the ultimate flex would be buy this and you unseal it on camera. You got to have I hire like a 3-man camera crew. You get it really done professionally, and this video would break the internet. Yeah. And is it limited? I can't. Mark was it? It was done in 2012. Oh, this to mark the opening of the Patek store in Shanghai. So it's a historically very, very important. Shanghai and Patek, ultra important. Ultra important. 5-clawed dragon, clouds. Yeah, clouds. Okay. How many did they make? How many did they make? Does it say here? It's some sort of whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's like this is gonna be okay. So there's a guy on Instagram called, I think his name is like Johnson or something. Johnson, I think he calls him. He's a Chinese guy. Johnson, is that a Chinese name? Johnson? It could be like one of those weird British names. And he's like a young guy. I think there's a video of him floating around. He's like a funny looking guy. He's covered with like weird tattoos, which is bizarre, right? He's got these weird tattoos, and he's showing in his Instagram some crazy watches with like a crazy Richard Mille, like $1 million Richard Mille. I mean, this is the watch to get. If I was that guy, I'd have one of these. I'd like basically dump the Richard. I'd dump the RMs. Get this. And this is a historic watch.
Yeah.
And to me, it's the clouds that make it work. And the dragon pops out. It's 3D. It's like stunning. I mean, this is amazing. Listen, you know what? Like, I don't need to do these stupid videos like live. Like, I don't give a shit about this. Like, I don't need. Like, I'm not here to make money on Super Chat. What fascinates me is looking at this type of stuff. Like, and you know, I probably wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have paid as much attention if I wasn't doing this stupid live stream. So I'm learning something. No, really, it's like this is, and we give these people credit for doing this like unique thing. Whoever at Patek is doing this, they deserve credit. Okay, we got another one of these factory seals again. Cloisonné Pionnet. What is Pionnet? I don't know what that is. And this is kind of funky. Okay, so this is a little bit almost like a cause type of thing, where the shape is very basic, simple. The colors are dull, though. These are like kind of funky colors. The green is horrible, that like puke green. It's not even a jade green. You got diamonds, okay. It's gonna appeal to, like, I don't know, it's a unique individual. You got the seal, and you got, look at this, you got the hang tag. You got the hang tag. You see the hang tag?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's super important to have.
Hey, this is not an Archie luxury. Again, it doesn't have any machete chips. You get the certificate. You're getting hang tag and everything. So this is going to be, 100 grand. Okay, so basically these things are going for about 100 grand, right? 2014 Japanese kimono, kind of an ugly one though. How many did they make? Not too many. I don't think they make too many. So I think these things are going to be very collectible. Like legitimate, like at some point, like something like this is going to be great. It's a great value, I think. 100 grand for something like this. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about purely from a speculative standpoint now. The Japanese market is doing well. Okay, so so here we got some copycats. So Piaget, the Piaget are masters at like. Now this is a beautiful dial for like a cloisonné dial. Look at the colors.
Yeah.
Like this is much better than the Patek World Time. Look at these beautiful, rich colors. And the focus here is on China. This is China. China is the Middle Kingdom. No, look at it, right?
Yeah.
It's not showing you. It's not showing you America in the center or something. No, it's showing you China, as Trump would say, China, in the Middle Kingdom, right in the center of the world. And you got a moon phase, a nice, beautiful gold texture. Oh, I think. Oh, Piaget, I think, was big in China for a while. It was big in China, like for a while. Do you know about this? It was big in
no, I did not know that. I
don't know. At retail, it was like a big thing some years back. I don't know. That was like the hot. Okay. Oh, there we go. Limited edition. Anita Porcher. Oh, it's that lady for Patek. She did this in 2013. Interesting. So Patek doesn't have an exclusive on her. Let's see. This is a pretty cool watch, and this is going to be reasonable. It's going to be like what, 50 grand maybe? Less than 50 grand, possibly.
Yeah.
Now this, I don't know. I mean, this gets high marks, but in terms of, I don't know if this has speculative value. I don't know, unless it was really cheap. I don't think this has speculative. It's not Patek. It's not Patek. It's Piaget. You got to explain it to people. You got to explain to them, what is Piaget? Okay, we got another one of these. Another one. Now, this is like a very Japanese-looking design. Very Japanese, like silk. Those paintings on silk they did. Oh, it's her also. It's Anita Porcher, 97. This is pretty good. I think this is pretty good. You got the eagle. He's whatever it is, the bird, and he's taking. He's basically in action. You see, it's dynamic. See, the painting here, the composition is important. It's a dynamic painting because the eagle is twisting to take a bite out of a branch. Do you get the concept here? It's emotion.
I'm not
it's emotion.
sure. Okay, yeah, I could see that.
That's the beauty of this. This is like, that's a serious, like somebody put thought, because it's not just a flat, like the eagle is just like looking, it's not a portrait. No, the eagle is in motion. It's like in motion right now, taking a branch, it's turning, pivoting to take a bite out of that branch. Amazing. How much is this? This is going to be, oh, you got stickers? I think this is all from one collector. Birds of America. Oh, it's Birds of America.
Possibly, yeah.
Hey,
Carl, I got to drop off. Could we look at one watch real quick before I go?
Okay. Hang on. Okay, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Yeah, let's you want to talk about one watch before you leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
2250.
2250. Okay, I'll talk about. Let's go. After this, I'll bounce back to the. Okay. There we go. Oh shit. What are you going to say about this? Go ahead.
Okay, so for this one, I think this one, in terms of speculation, this one might be something worth looking into, depending on what it goes for. Only because Glashütte original, they're not going to do any more of these dials.
Okay,
it has something to do with the. Yeah, because it's a porcelain dial. They partnered with another German company to do the porcelain, and that company, that company got taken over by the state. So then, because I emailed them a while back, asked them if they're gonna, like do a reissue, and then they said no. Because
you're kidding. Why were you interested?
Oh, just out of curiosity to see if they would release, or if they have any plans to release something like that. So
you emailed them. You emailed them and said, "Are you gonna?" Wow. Why are you so interested in this?
If they thought about it, it's just it just caught my attention. So
wow, you're like a real serious horror. I mean, like you're like that's like a fucking crazy thing. I mean, like this is a shitter brand. I mean, it's basically Glashütte. I mean, it's Glashütte is the brand. I'm shocked. I mean, listen, I give you massive credit. I give you massive credit for taking time to email. And what did they do? They write you back?
Yeah, this is actually one of the few brands that will actually respond to email questions like that. So they said that it doesn't look possible in the future only because of the status of that company that did the porcelain dials is now owned by the state. So I guess because of whatever that situation means, it just means that they won't be doing partnerships in the future.
Okay. So here's my issue with this thing. Okay, so first of all, you got the wrong brand. Okay, you got the wrong brand. It's Glashütte. Okay, and by the way, we had a guy actually. We're gonna do a thing with there was a guy in Archie's live stream who one of the punters. He bought that CQ, the one I was interested in. Remember the CQ? I was talking about the CQ. Yeah. He bought a couple of years ago, and he had issues with it. And he was saying, and they wouldn't honor the warranty. They said it was a month late. You guys, the Germans, they're very all about the time. Very it's a 1 minute late past the date. They went crazy. They wouldn't honor it, and he ended up getting a Submariner. What is it called? A Starbucks from an AD. Because by the way, those things are apparently the Submariners are flying off the shelf. That's all. They're making a million of these things. So basically, he was regretting, and he's going to say, look, he's going to sell off. I think his name is Clausewitz or something. That's the guy in Archie's, like a guy in LA. I think he lives in downtown LA, which is weird. But he's basically regretting buying the Glashütte, and he's going to be selling it, and he's going to stick with the Submariner. Clausewitz, whatever it is, von Clausewitz, if you're watching, you're welcome to join one of our live streams. And you have known. Yeah, so that was my big worry, is that shit, what am I paying big money for? It's very interesting, but am I gonna get hurt with this? So so let's talk about this. You got the wrong brand. The painting quality, I think, is bad. It says it's based on Canaletto. I don't think this is a Canaletto, unless it's a drawing, because Canaletto doesn't do like this. Maybe it's like something is wrong here. And it's a very weak, too much white space, like very bland. It's got like a Breguet copycat vibe going with it. I'm not into this, and it's gonna sell cheap. Look at this, probably 10 grand, maybe.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed?
No, I just thought it was interesting. So only because that's it. Like whatever they made there's not gonna be any more.
Yeah, but you could say that about a lot of things. Shit, you could say about all those. You could say that about all those Pateks we looked at.
Yeah, but only. I mean, those Pateks, they're still gonna release more. Enamel dial Pateks as opposed to this.
No, not. No, but who cares? No, but first of all, who cares about Glashütte? I mean, nobody cares about this brand. Who cares about this brand?
That's also true.
It's not even Langen Zone. It's like a second tier. I mean, they're basically the same company, but it's kind of like a second tier. They're like, I don't know. It's like a shitter brand. It's like, and by the way, I like the CQ. I think they have some interesting things. But by the way, I did hear interesting at the store. The salesman told me a lot of their watches, they come back. There's issues. The ones with the complications, the dress watches. There's like issues with some of the more, they have some issues. They come back. He told me this in confidence. I'm not going to say which location. Actually, fuck it. I'll say that. There's only one location where people could forget. It's the Glashütte is a shitter. The CQ. Listen, I'm glad I dodged the bullet. But if the CQ got cheap enough, at $6 grand, I would take a shot, because I think at $6 grand it's worth it for me. But I'm not paying full price. Okay, Baron, listen, I really appreciate you joining. Yes, I mean, like, you listen. First of all, I appreciate you, and I want you to know that the peasants watching, actually the aristocrats, forget about the peasants, the aristocrats watching, I don't think they understand the value that you bring. Like this stuff, like about emailing a company about a fucking stupid Glashütte only because of intellectual curiosity. Who does that? Nobody does that. So you bring tremendous value here.
All right. Thanks, Carl. All right. I really got to drop off. I'll catch you on the next stream.
Thank you. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. Okay. Let's bring up, maybe we'll go into some drama. We'll talk about some drama. Pluta is hating on you. Sanders said, Pluta is hating on you. What? Yuri, I don't know what this says. Said so is at the 420. It says you haven't kicked out any. Pluto is hating on you, Sanders. Talking about me? Klaus? What the fuck who's he talking to? Klaus? Baron? What's going on here? Somebody please, I haven't been watching these. So let's get back into hang on a second. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up, but we got some cool watches here. We got some, wow, we got more. What? Okay, we got about a dozen watches we're gonna cover. Yeah, these guys have amazing stuff here. We spent a lot of time on the pocket watches. Deep dive. Here we go. Okay, the Eagle. I was gonna say, look, this is amazing. So this is basically inspired by. Okay, so yeah, the composition is not original. It's basically from Audubon. I knew, because look, for an artist to come up with this idea, that is, that's genius level stuff. So who's coming up with these compositions? Now we know. This was based on Audubon, Birds of America, which was done, whatever, 100 years ago. John Audubon, circa 97. Cool watch. Again, for me, that whole thing is, it's all about that. Wait, is this a minute repeater? No. Oh, he did 10 different birds. Yeah, box and certificate. Okay. Oh, Archie was talking about me. What did he say? What did he say about the Sanders? He was talking about Bill. You talking about Bill Sanders? You were hang on a second. Hang on. Pop in. We'll talk about the drama. We'll also talk about the. I got a new name. We got Blondie, the timepiece trollop. The timepiece trollop. You got the timepiece gentleman, and you got the timepiece trollop. For the OnlyFans, she's gonna be like the OnlyFans for watch simps. It's gonna be an amazing thing. It's gonna be unbelievable but true. Let's see. Okay, we got Cartier. This is a desk clock, so it doesn't quite count. I don't know what this is doing here. Okay, we got an interesting Cartier two-tone. I'm a fan of these Cartier two-tones. Oh, made to commemorate the handover of Macau to China. That's very interesting. That's a historical important thing. Look, if you're a Communist Party official, or if you want to ingratiate yourself, this is the watch I would wear to any meeting. If I'm doing business in China, I would wear one of these. It's a great deal. Platinum two-tone. I'm a fan. Platinum two-tone, dual tone. I'm a fan of this type of stuff. This could possibly do very well. Cartier, Benoit, Allongé, 100, but it's going to be 30 grand probably for this. Excuse me, 30 grand. Stickers. I mean, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Piaget Polo, like, okay, hard pass on this. Hard pass. Again, this is like, it's the wrong brand. It's Piaget. I mean, I know they have some whatever stones. This hard pass. It's going to sell for about 100. Actually, you know what? Maybe not. 100 grand for this watch. 100 grand for a bust down, factory bust down. Not a bad design. Again, if you need that bust down look for 100 grand, that's a good value. Piaget is a legitimate brand. Piaget is legitimate. Let's keep rolling here. Horrible watch here. What is this? Golf stroke counter. Wow. I never heard of this. It's a golf stroke counter. I never even knew about this. 1998. This is crazy. I mean, this is so ugly. And so this is a complication that is. Oh, I guess. Oh, I get it. It's for 4 people. It's for foursome. Ha! Oh, there we go. Yeah, for 4 players. Each counter could be increased by corresponding pusher. Okay, this is a cool thing. Now this is okay. This is I don't know, man. You're never gonna. You know what? It's pretty cheap. It's gonna be like 15 grand maybe. This could be a cool watch. You put this on maybe like a rubber strap, like a cool bespoke rubber strap, and you can play golf with this. Apparently, you can. It's automatic. You got these cabochons, I believe, cabochon, whatever it is, the gems. This is an interesting watch. This could be, this could be like one of these things that it's worth taking a shot with. Kesslowitz, that's the guy. Kesslowitz, who is this guy? Get a hold of him, and have him join the channel. Have him join the channel. He needs to be on our channel because the guy has some interesting things, right? I don't know any heterosexual who plays. Oh, he plays polo. Oh, okay. Okay. It's very interesting. Okay. He does have that look. He's got that look like a very kind of aristocratic type of guy, like a establishment, waspy type of, guy. Interesting. Now, why would a guy like that live in downtown LA? That's kind of bizarre. Downtown LA is weird. Okay, so if he plays polo and he bought the watch 2 hours away, he said he bought it from an AD 2 hours away, it's likely he probably got it in like Santa Barbara area. So I would look for an AD in Santa Barbara, like Montecito. I don't think they have stores in Montecito. They may or may not. So they have a polo club in Montecito, tennis and polo. I think it was called like Santa Barbara, Montecito Tennis and Polo, something is. How do I know this? Because because they had it for a while back. They had it because I had a boat. I had a boat in Marina Del Rey, and I actually was going to move it up to like Santa Barbara, or actually not Santa Barbara, like Ventura area. The whole story, right? And I thought, what will be good is if I could find a place that had like a gym, like a pool, a tennis, whatever. Because the boat, I could stay on the boat, go out, and the Santa Barbara, this polo club, which is kind of relatively exclusive. They had this membership, not for polo, but they had a special membership for tennis and whatever sports, tennis and pool, and which was reasonable. Now I don't know if they'd let me in. I don't know, but but it was reasonably priced. It was a couple of grand or something, and then a couple $100 a month or whatever. And apparently that is the club that what's his name joined. That redheaded bastard. The prince. What's his name? Andrew, or the prince, the guy who's married to the actress. They moved to because he plays polo. He hangs out. He probably hangs out there all day. So if Kesslowitz plays polo, he probably went up to that area. That's 2 hours away from L. Because I was wondering which AD did he get this from, which maybe I could go to. So it's probably an AD in that area, kind of in that Santa Barbara area. Do they have one? Yuri, do a Google search. Rolex AD in Santa Barbara, Montecito. Yeah, he could be. He could be. Well, listen, he could be one of those. These polo players, they could be swing hitters. Swing. What do you call it? Switch hitters, as they call it. Switch hitters. They play on both teams. You know what I mean? Okay, so we got some interesting. We're down to the wire. We got another. Wow, Cartier. It's a pretty interesting watch. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Okay, whatever. Let's talk about this here. Beauvais. Now, I hate this brand. I hate it with a passion. I hate Beauvais. Beauvais, and Bill Sanders. This is the Bill Sanders brand, Beauvais. Bovet. Why? Because the stupid design. This like stupid design with that thing up top. The whole thing is just so idiotic. Like it looks so like I don't even know. I don't want to hear about the movement. I don't want to hear about the movement. The watch is just so disgusting. I mean, this is just it's a crime against humanity. This watch is a crime against humanity. Let's keep rolling here. we got, let's go here. Come on. Reload the page. Oh, shit. Okay, fuck. 4. Okay. All right, we're down to the wire. We're coming down. Okay. Keep an eye on Gerald Genta. Gerald Genta may have, because again, it's the Louis Vuitton people. They're going to be trying to push the brand, so they might be bidding. I mean, the last Mickey Mouse, did really well at auction. I think it was at Christie's, was it? In Honkers, Hong Kong. I think that's where it was. It sold, I think, a double. It did really well, probably because Jean Arnault was bidding for it. Mickey Mouse, Gerald Genta. Okay, so we got the interesting Royal Oak Concept Tourbillon Rainbow. This is a legitimate rainbow here. A legitimate rainbow. I don't know, man. Can you imagine in the light how this plays with the light? Because you got the facets. You got 6 different angles, or actually technically it's more than 6, but you got all these angles on that case, the case angles with the gems playing with the light. I mean, this goes way beyond Rolex. And this might go for how much? A couple $100,000, $300,000, maybe $400,000, $500,000, somewhere between $200 and $400,000, maybe. I don't know. Pretty interesting. Let's see here. Yeah. I don't know. What do you punters think? What do you nasty and vicious punters think? What do you nasty and vicious punters think of the Audemars Piguet? Hang on a second. Let's see here. Okay, now we're getting into some interesting watches. Again, it's kind of a inside baseball. We got the minute repeater Royal Oak titanium super sonnery. So basically what you're getting, check out this back of the case, right? You got the sound graphic. And because it's in titanium, apparently the titanium sounds a lot better than, white gold or platinum. Salmon dial, okay. It's going to go for this might go for $500,000. Beautiful dial. Beautiful tapisserie. Beautiful tapisserie dial. Let's see. The AP, the rainbow AP is the way to go. I mean, if you're going to go for a rainbow, actually look at this. I actually just noticed something. So what's going on here? Not just, okay, so you got the case, all right? So you're going to get the light reflecting all over the case from the gems. It's going to be bouncing all around. But the dial itself has got a lot going on. There's a lot of gems in the, I mean, these guys really, like Rolex is really lazy. The Rolex rainbows are really lazy watches. I mean, it's just like pretty lazy. I think they invented the concept, but it's pretty basic. But when you have a case like this, you have a big case, it really gives you an opportunity to do unique things. Now, the real problem is you got to explain to people this is an AP because, it's not that popular. This, this case design, the concept design is not as popular. So, you walk into a strip club with this watch, these little gutter snipes, they're not going to know this is an AP. They're going to think it's like a Timex. So you got to have a rainbow, basically. So that watch is not good value for money. Now, passing the Langenzoon, the Hitler watch. Again, this is like Higgins, the guy on the that's his watch over there. Hitler watch, Langenzoon, shitter watches. And again, not because it was Hitler's favorite company, only because it's a scam watch. It's not original. And this is original. Greubel Forsey. Unbelievable. I mean, I'm not even going to get into all the stuff that's going on here. The case design, the thing that's 3D. world time, all that stuff. Again, this is avant-garde at its finest. It's going to be a couple $100,000, worth every penny. Yeah. Yeah, this is, again, but this is, we've seen this before. It's not, like in this auction, we've seen some amazing watches. Like this Greubel Forsey, we've seen this. Okay, it's okay. We've seen that. No problem. But some of the other stuff is really unique stuff. Like, let's see here. One watch I just want to bring up real quick for the punters, low budget punters. Tudor, Monte Carlo, 1972. It's a cool watch, 70s watch. I think it's a beautiful watch. If you're going to get a vintage watch, chronograph, good value, 10 grand. Case by Rolex, original oyster case by Rolex, Geneva. These are good value, and these sell for, these go for like 20 grand used, roughly 20 grand they can go for. I think there's who's it? The Old Watch Lady. Old Watch Lady has one of these. I saw on Instagram. Really good watch, I think. It is unbelievable. All right, we're going to be wrapping up over here. We're going to be wrapping up. Let's take a look real quick. We got Blueberry. Okay, this is basic, bitch. I'm not going to go into these basic bitch Rolex. Okay. Another minute repeater. Kind of interesting, right? Very basic, very conservative, ultra conservative case. Like this is so stealthy. Like I don't understand the point of spending $300,000 for a watch like this. Again, it's a minute repeater, very basic. The hands are not that attractive in my opinion. The Roman numerals are okay, but all you got is a minute repeater for 300 grand. Come on. Okay. Let's talk about some highlights from modern watches. Patek Philippe Aquanaut Tiffany dial. Beautiful. Look at this beautiful sunburst, blue sunburst. These photos do not do this watch justice. And on the secondary market, these are going for about 160 roughly with Tiffany. So the Tiffany dial, the little Tiffany thing, is adding about 60 grand. That line right there that says Tiffany, that adds $60,000 to the watch. So if you want this watch, you can't afford 160 grand, just get the one without the Tiffany. Same watch. And you get some kid to write in Tiffany. You could probably do that. People do that actually. There is a whole thing with people adding Tiffany to these watches. The estimate here is this is going to go for decent money. This watch is going to go for decent money. It's probably going to go for like 150 grand. Actually, very cool. The sunburst is actually good. See this guy Bear Clooney? That's on Archie's channel. That fucking peasant. That is the watch that he would get if he was a real collector, because he's got a bunch of shitter watches. Instead of the steel one, like the peasant watch that he's got, he should have gotten the white gold sunburst blue dial, but he didn't because he's a peasant. He's not a member of his channel. Bear Clooney is not. Now, this is going to go for again a couple $100 grand. The perpetual calendar, great watch. Blue is beautiful. I'm not bullish on this Nautilus stuff. I think this Nautilus stuff might have run its course design-wise. Okay, we got some good values coming up in perpetuals. 5039, this might go for, I don't know, 25 grand. I think this is amazing. 2003, you got a perpetual calendar, rose gold, Clou de Paris. Beautiful. Great value. What does it come with? Box papers. See, that's how you got to get it. This is the way the watch needs to be purchased. Full set, not like Archie Luxury. Archie Luxury is the channel where you learn what not to do. Archie Luxury is basically You learn to avoid those things. Okay, we got another one. 5140. Basic yellow. Basic yellow. Hard pass. Let's see. We're wrapping up. Oh, the Colonel's edition. The Colonel watch. This might be actually my old watch. I had one of these, and that's the watch I traded for the 3940. Wow. Again, bad photos because this is rose gold, and it's really washed out in these photos. Really washed out. Yeah, it looks a lot better in reality. I think one of the Archie people, I think that Jamie Opulence has one of these. For me, that watch was a hard pass because I don't believe baguette diamonds belong with blue and rose gold. It's not a good match. White gold, yes. Rose gold, it's a little bit tacky. Let's see. Any other sleepers? Any other sleepers here? Potential sleepers. Oh, we got an Archie luxury piece. Travel time. Notice no machete chips here. No machete chips. Machete chips. And this will probably go for, might go cheap. Might go like 20 G's, 20 large, American. Let's keep rolling. We're down to the final couple of watches. Let's see. Could be a good value here. Nice GMT Master. Looks like a 70s or 60s. I'd put that on a leather strap, a suede strap. It would be very cool. 1990. Okay, 1990. For 20 grand. Now this might be a little pricey. This might be a little pricey at the auction here. You might be better off buying that, from a dealer. Okay, last couple of watches here. We're going to wrap up with, the chronograph. You see this on Instagram a lot. It's the white gold perpetual calendar, chronograph. Okay, I get it. Okay, big deal. Big deal. I don't know what's the big deal with this watch, to be honest with you. The lugs are ugly. Totally not for me. Okay, we got another minute repeater. Anytime you got a minute repeater from Patek, it is worth mentioning it. What does this mean? Premium lot. What is a premium lot? Oh, wait. Oh, some of these lots, they want you to you gotta jump through extra hoops. So if you want to bid on this, you got to jump through some extra hoops. Yeah. No peasants. Yeah, they don't want riffraff. Signing on last minute, bidding on, because this is going to go for could go for almost $1 million, 700,000 plus dollars American. Cathedral gongs. I'd love to hear the way this. Full set, including a travel pouch. Again, full set, no machete chips. And you got to get the little pusher. The little pusher, very important. Okay, so this is interesting. I actually think this. I think they had a couple of white gold subs. Come on, man. This is we're talking about real watches. I don't even want to waste time with submariners on this thing. Let's see. Okay, so what's good about this is this annual calendar is you have it on the bracelet. You don't have to worry about a strap, so you can wear this in humid environments. In the summer, you wash it every day. You just rinse it off with water, soap with water, and you're good to go. That's the one thing I hate about straps. I don't like to wear leather in the summer because it's just I don't like that idea. Anyway, this is good. You can even probably go swimming in it, I think. Although somebody said you shouldn't. So I think these it adds a lot of versatility when you have this bracelet. And again, 20 grand. I think this might be this sounds like a little bit of a come on. 20 grand. Does it come with box papers? No. No. That's it. Naked. Let's see. Okay. All right. Now here we got a heavy hitter. We've seen this on our some of our videos before. You know, some of the Instagram guys are flexing this. You know, that guy in Japan, what's his name? Chrono, or whatever he calls himself. Chrono Piece. He's got one of these, the baguette diamonds on the bezel. Nice touch. Yeah, probably 150 grand is going to go for it. 150, 200. And that's it. I mean, that's pretty much it. So we saw some really nice things here. A couple of really exotic pieces worth following. Let's find out. What do you punters think that these things are going to sell? That is going to be interesting. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Make sure you click like, subscribe, and you get our free weekly newsletter. Chrono Piece, that's right. The Chrono Piece collection is crazy. He's got probably a $50 million collection. I mean, if you do the math, it's got to be like 50. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's only 25 million. But, you know, he's got like everything. The only thing is it's all new stuff. He doesn't really have any vintage. He's got all new stuff. I don't know. I think also, you know, the Japanese, I don't think they like used things. Yeah, I think the Chinese also don't like used things. I think it's like bad feng shui or something. So, yeah, $100. What is that? It means you want to give $100 super chat? If you do, you are welcome, sir. Okay, so again, guys, click the link in the video description below to get access to our free weekly email newsletter. Market news, Patek, AP, Rolex, etc. See you all on the next one.